For the Winds Productions presents A Simple Man's Brand production in conjunction with J. Hebert Studios. And now, A Simple Take with Noah Foster.
It was the super kick heard around the world, and history was made as a champion was crowned in more than one way. And something as we know it is literally mere hours away, possibly changing forever. This and so much more to be discussed in this simple take as we look back at the events that occurred at WWE Nights of Champions. Hello, everybody. Good evening to all of you. You know what this is, for I'm the simple man of the simple brand, the voice of the JMN MLN, and my name is Noah Foster. With me, of course, is my color cohort and analyst in all things WWE, and he does acknowledge his tribal chief, the renegade of wrestling, JJ Williams, the CEO of Cast 18 Studios. JJ, how are you? We are finally removed from the week of professional wrestling madness and what some people call the ultimate shocking moment at Night of Champions. But I know that wasn't the only moment that occurred for you two. But as we are here on the East Coast, while you are on the West Side, we are literally 1 hour away from WWE SmackDown going live. And for those that are wondering, want to be part of the conversation, super chat, as simple as that. Before we get into everything, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. And with SmackDown coming up in just about an hour, 3 hours for me on the West Coast, is the week of insanity for pro wrestling really over? I mean, we did just call Battleground yesterday, our little makeup show, if you will. And then tonight is Rampage as well as SmackDown, leading into, of course, our open mic night festivities, the Saturday night shenanigans, as they are known.
Yep.
It's like professional wrestling has just been on a roll for the last week and a half or so.
Right.
You figure ever since the Raw going into Night of Champions, because there was Raw, there was NXT, there was Dynamite, there was Impact, there was Rampage, SmackDown, Under Siege, there was Night of Champions, there was Double or Nothing, there was Battleground, then there was Raw, NXT, Dynamite, Impact, and we're back here again. Like, there's literally no day off, Fred Rosser style, until tomorrow.
Yeah, as we enter in June, by the way, folks, block out the hate. Well said. BCC Barroom, good to see you. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Go follow, folks. Support the channel. Appreciate your viewership. We appreciate all of you for tuning in. Live or on demand, as always. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, give it a thumbs up. Super chat this man. He monetized, if you will. Show him some love. And if you want to dictate the conversation, super chat at Cassidy 18 Studios. It's as simple as that. But yeah, this has truly been absolutely the week of Professional Wrestling Madness 2, that everything that occurred last weekend, from the freaking Bully Ray invasion and the Scott D'Amore flaming table spot Under Siege, to the madness that ensued in the end of Night of Champions, to the mixed reactions, reception, and execution of the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, to the insanely physically enduring and violent last man standing match between Ilja Dragunov and Dijak, to the crowning of a very competitively fought new NXT Women's Championship between Lyra Valkyrie and Tiffany Stratton. And we still aren't done, as again, in less than an hour on the East Side, those that choose to will acknowledge the tribal chief as he celebrates 1,000 days plus of his illustrious Blue Universal assisted WWE title reign.
And if you think about it, Noah, aside from after Saturday, it all begins again, because there's Dominion.
Yes.
And then we begin that streak again. Raw, NXT, Dynamite, Impact, SmackDown against all odds.
Yes.
And then we get a day off again. It's just like, need one of those inhalers for asthma just to like take a shot of some oxygen here.
I mean, I'm just the guy that talks everything, calls everything, and apparently uses his voice more than Excalibur and a single dose of dynamite. So again, what do I know? Shout out to Denise Sasela, by the way. I just recently got done watching her latest interview with the Rosemary True identity of one Courtney Rush, WrestleMania rules. Great stuff. But without further ado, bantering aside, people are here to hear us talk about what we are here to talk about live. Let's get right into it. So for those that don't know, a simple take is a subtle look back at what has occurred at the biggest shows in wrestling. Primarily, we look at WWE and AEW, but we might add more down the line. Stay tuned. And today we're here to give you our thoughts, our takeaways from what occurred at Night of Champions. It was a 7-match card, and we are going to go through the card order as thus because there were some interesting events that occurred, including the fact they booked the show as triple main event, and one of those opened the show as we crowned a brand new WWE World Heavyweight Champion between Seth freaking Rollins of Raw and AJ Styles of SmackDown. And of course, this was their 4th singles encounter where AJ has yet to beat Seth freaking Rollins. Honestly, this is a callback to their last big match from Money in the Bank. How fitting. 2019, considering Money in the Bank is the next WWE Premium Live event. Coincidence? I don't know. You tell me. A great back and forth match, a lot of callbacks, but the strategy here came into play when AJ Styles kept trying to go for the phenomenal forearm. Seth Rollins denied it at the risk of his own knee going for broke, which almost put him back on the shelf, which cost him the championship back in 2016 for those that don't remember. And that was during a house show. At the end of it all, between the back and forth, AJ Styles was able to execute the phenomenal forearm, but did hit the Styles Clash, even hit a pedigree, and you follow his game over. Seth Rollins still found it continued. He finally set up AJ Styles with a 2-for-1 combination, not only hitting the pedigree, but burning it down in Saudi Arabia, curb stomping the man's head to the mat, and Seth Rollins makes history once again, becoming a continued legacy, but the first WWE World Heavyweight Champion and truly the face of Monday Night Raw. It is once again Monday Night Rollins. JJ, the result was obvious from a brand identity perspective. The network demanded having a weekly constant championship and champion on their flagship show under Comcast, under USA, whatever the hell you want to call it, on Monday nights on Monday Night Raw. AJ Styles was there because he truly is the best to hang with Seth in this case. And honestly, it was a ratings bump. Now, you take that for what you will. But I really do appreciate the mutual respect seen the following night on Monday Night Raw during Seth's coronation, championship celebration, but still brand split, LOL. And I thought overall this was a really great way to open the show, but it still burns my soul knowing that this was the only match to define a brand new champion, and it was World Championship level. I understand when we talk about the main event, it is what it is when it comes to a booking, storytelling circumstance, but still, the absolute happenstance of the show felt like, to me, this should have been the main event. I don't think it does it just to call it a co-main event when you literally have 3 main events cast on your show. But either way, good opener, right person won because the right person from the brand won.
Yeah, I agree. You know, sometimes I scratch my head with WWE's booking decisions, but as we discussed yesterday on our Battleground call, and as we discussed pretty much on every WWE watch along, WWE and Logic, LOL.
Right.
The show is called Night of Champions. It was the one match where we were guaranteed to crown a new champion because it was the tournament final.
Exactly.
This should have been the last match on the card. You can't even really say this should have been the main event anymore because they get away by doing double main event, triple main event. You know, hell, as far as the Saudi Prince is concerned, every match tonight was a main event.
Must have been, practically.
You know, and that's not to take away from any of the other matches we're going to talk about because all of them were bangers in their own right.
Absolutely.
Minus one, we'll get there. But this match should have been the last match on the card. Otherwise, why are you making a big deal out of calling this Night of Champions? You know, we won't even go down Alice's rabbit hole about how we had non-title matches on this card.
Right.
On a show called Night of Champions, but, you know, we couldn't crown the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Austin Theory couldn't have a U.S. title defense. ...
Yeah, about to say
to steal your catchphrase, but I digress. But the big question mark, the big cloud that loomed over this match was if
Big
AJ
if.
had won, what would have happened, considering he just got drafted to SmackDown with the rest of his OG brethren and sister? Do they automatically move them all over back to Raw? Maybe in some kind of fluke trade for, I don't know, one American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes?
Would it be the first time they did what I would call a superstar shakeup in context of that conversation, JJ? But continue.
What does that say about those 3 men and 1 woman if that trade does go down, that Cody Rhodes is more valuable than the phenomenal AJ Styles, who just became your champion, the Good Brothers, and Mia Yim? Mia Yim, no disrespect. Okay, maybe. The Good Brothers and Mia Yim for Cody, that could possibly be a balanced trade. No disrespect to the 3 individuals.
That package deal.
What have Gallows and Anderson really done since coming back? Exactly. But to lump AJ in that deal, AJ for Cody is a worthwhile trade in of itself.
Yes.
So do they do something like that? Does AJ just take the belt to SmackDown and then Raw is screwed again with no champion? So, you look at the Magic 8 Ball, is Seth going to win? All signs point to yes.
Yeah.
It's not try again later. All signs point to yes. So, yes, the right person won, but it was still great storytelling. As you said, great callbacks. They even made sure that they showed in the hype videos leading up to this on Raw footage from, I want to say it was Reign of Honor.
Correct.
AJ Styles versus Tyler Black.
Their very first encounter.
Where AJ got on the mic afterwards saying how this man is the future of professional wrestling. Take notes. I think we need to put over the fact that we've talked about a bunch of times on the show that this is the 3rd time now that Seth has been in the finals to crown a new champion, winning the NXT title over Jinder Mahal, losing the Universal title to Finn Balor, and now defeating AJ Styles this time. Despite the fact that it didn't close the show, I think there's only one other match that could have rivaled this as far as being the perfect match to open the show. So I'm okay with its placement. And before we wrap up this match, I do want to say happy birthday to the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Absolutely. Guy that has been such a damn influence on so many, including but not limited to somebody that was recently interviewed by Chris Van Vliet, One Will Ospreay. To think that AJ Styles, if he was not the guy we know him as today, if he was not the phenomenal, if he was not involved in the wrestling industry, how many all-time greats would not probably even be seen or gotten to that point?
For real. And AJ came on my radar during the World Wrestling All-Stars. I didn't see him in the dying days of WCW. And despite locating it later on and seeing I want to say it was Jacked match that he had against the Hurricane.
The Hurricane.
Back prior to his TNA days, where he took a vertebreaker. He came on my screen, like I said, World Wrestling All-Stars, and I've been a fan with him since the first time I saw him. So happy birthday to the phenomenal one. I've been hearing rumors through the Mansfield of the multiverse. I'm just joking because I saw his pop up, but I've been hearing rumors that AJ's contract is over. That's going to be it, and he's going to hang them up. I hope that's not entirely true, but if it is, it's been a hell of a ride. You figure 21 plus years as the face of a company.
Right.
Because even when he was still cutting his teeth in TNA, it was very clear that he was number 2 to Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, yeah. He didn't need the NWA World Heavyweight Championship to prove that.
But it didn't hurt either.
No. Well, that's a very fair take. And again, we talk about the accolades both these men share. Tyler Black redefined himself, Ring of Honor. AJ Styles defining himself world over. IWGP champion, TNA heavyweight champion, X Division champion. Both men heavily accoladed in WWE. Both men former WWE world champions, United States champions. Seth Rollins with the cash in of the century. And again, so much similarities with these two. You couldn't find a better contrast or somebody to bring out a better ruthless beating to than Seth friggin' Rollins and AJ Styles under these circumstances. Congratulations to Seth friggin' Rollins. Respect to both. Before we move on to our next match, we have a super chat here, courtesy of Josh Mansfield. Thank you for that. $2 super chat. Thoughts on the rumored ... WWE title belt tonight? JJ?
I've heard this rumor too. I've seen a lot of people talking about it online. You know, I go to my YouTube to watch videos and stuff to kill time, and I see a bunch of vloggers and podcasters talking about it. And here's my problem with it. While I don't deny that a new title belt is coming, if you debut it tonight, Roman Reigns' Universal run ends at 1,000 whatever days.
Right.
And the new title reign begins at 1 day. You also cut off his WWE Championship run at whatever it is, like 425 days, 426
something around
days.
that, because he won it last year in April at WrestleMania. That is correct.
I was looking at the stats earlier because I wanted to see how close he was to toppling Punk's 434. And he's only like 10 days away, 9 days away. So you cut that off at the knees, and he doesn't surpass Punk's title reign either. I think the new belt, if they are in fact going to do it, needs to be done and presented to whoever topples Roman. Whether it's Cody at the Garden, like I've predicted for some time, and all the dirt sheets like Fightful Select, which Josh just referenced, have picked up and ran to the ground without giving me any kind of credit for it.
Or Josh, you freaking goof.
Whether it's, you know, somebody else who gets Money in the Bank and cashes in, or WrestleMania next year and it's The Rock and Roman, or whatever it is, the belt needs to be presented to whoever dethrones Roman. Period. You don't want to cut Roman off at the knees at this point. We've made it to 1,000 plus. The t-shirts just hit WWE Shop today, as everybody is going to SmackDown for the 1,000-day celebration tonight. You don't want to take that momentum out.
Hello,
What's going
Pop.
on, Pop? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Appreciate all of y'all. Appreciate y'all's engagement in the chat, too. This is what we do. That being said, my thoughts are similar to yours. When I think of new title, I think of new beginning. I think of something ending. To coincide with what BCC Barber says, the 16-time world champion John Cena, who again tied Ric Flair's record as not being in it, does this new title open the door for Cena to win the record breaking title run? Circumstantially, yes, but here's the thing. Hello, Jeff. Ding. John Cena even said himself, he cannot go like he used to. He cannot necessarily go the schedule like he did either. So for that just to be a moment to break a record, maybe at WrestleMania, considering that's on the doorstep of John Cena's neighborhood, I could see that as a sub-champ, but that would mean that you would try and undermine another story that people are still waiting on. Why I do think John Cena might one day have one last match to eclipse the number of title reigns, I don't necessarily have this new title as the approach, considering, again, he's never won the Intercontinental Championship. And I feel like that has to be on his radar at some point, just to beat the Grand Slam. Seth Rollins has that new WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth and Cena, no strangers to each other. They might do something with that. WrestleMania does love bringing in those people for that one-time appearance. But Cena's a guy I see trying to use that to put over somebody. Austin Theory fans, though, that's a whole different question. As far as Josh's counterpoint to this, though, but did Rock debuting a new belt, start a new reign, though? It was after he beat CM Punk that The Rock did win the WWE Heavyweight Championship, but it was not a new belt per se by name. It was a new belt by design. Roman Reigns currently holds the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. If he's getting a new belt in physical appearance, that new belt is clearly going to have a new name to go with it. It's a new moniker. It's a new standard. It truly is a new beginning. James Hebert's on point at one time saying on Open Mic Night that the whole new championship presentation idea, beyond even the big gold belt, was for Cody if he won at WrestleMania and finished the story. Josh even figured out the plan for the new belt's new lineage for Cody. And that might be fair if JJ's booking, JJ gets all the credit, pulls all the royalties, all the him, he has all the credit, he is also an important resource. JJ even says that if Cody finishes the story at Madison Square Garden, it would make sense for Cody to usher in a new era and a new championship. With this monkey wrench being thrown in, though, now, JJ, again, your storytelling, I approve with all merit, but literally now just got probably through into 180 degrees. But let's see what you say to this after my little retort. I don't think a new belt necessarily means new reign starting. Here's the thing. New belt, maybe not. New name, definitely. And I don't know how you merge the WWE and Universal Championship into one belt exclusively, considering each of those belts has their own legacy. Let's not forget the WWE Championship is the oldest belt in the company's history. After the WWF Championship, the WWF Championship, whatever the hell you want to call it. And at this point, the WWE Championship has been playing accessory to the Universal Championship. And it's pissed me off.
Yes, we know, Noah. Anybody that has viewed any of your content knows how much that has pissed you off. Here's the thing, though, Josh, that you have to understand to Noah's point. If you come up with a new title belt to represent this lineage that two belts has merged into, it either needs to be a new universal title, which means that the WWE is getting rid of the WWE Championship.
Exactly.
Just to keep the 1,000+ days run of Roman going. Or this new title belt continues the legacy and the lineage of the WWE Championship, which turned 60 years this year, and you get rid of the Universal title, which cuts the 1,000 days off at the legs.
What's he got here? My opinion, once Cody wins, Triple H will make the Universal title lineage disappear.
But what about in the meantime? You can't have two lineages tied to one belt.
Exactly. And that's the thing. What you expect me to believe that Roman Reigns is going to have this third belt around his waist and still have the other two and define 3 legacies wearing 3 championships when this new belt's supposed to be truly Roman Reigns' triumphant milestone and maybe a new beginning? Josh, in the more words of the late great Mean Gene Okerlund, give me a break.
They need to just hold off until Cody finishes the story, bring back the Winged Eagle, or a modified, updated design to the Winged Eagle, like they've done a modified, updated design to Big Gold, and then start the new lineage.
Exactly. If you're going to start a new lineage, it's a singular identity. There's a reason why this World Heavyweight Championship still holds merit to the previous legacy.
Exactly. Nathan, what's going on, man? Good to see you.
And Nathan Bates, good to see you. And again, I want to give a shout out to Josh Mansfield for that super chat and that discussion. They also could just say Reigns has been a title holder for 1,000+ days as a champion while continuing with the WWE title lineage. I trust Hunter not screw this up. Vince, not so much. It's one of those things, though, where Michael Cole at the end of the day is going to sell the hell out of this. Speaking of selling, ladies and gentlemen, this is not WWE interference, but damn it, his name's on the marquee. He's the founder. He's the mother effing producer. He acknowledges this milestone, and he's a guy that can literally tell you one thing or two about a championship identity, a lineage, and a new beginning. He is at _ Jeff Mother, and I'm 24 minutes in, fucking Meecham. Jeff, good to see you. Welcome to the Simple Take for the first time ever. How are you? And feel free to give your 2 cents towards this $2 super chat.
I'm going to tell you a thing or two about a thing or two. What? No. Anyway. Sorry, I'm watching 2001 Stone Cold. I'm in full what mode. I apologize. So first of all, it's for me, it's coming to the top of the hour. So I'm like tripping on this. What's going to happen with Roman? I'm definitely curious. They're going to make us wait the full 2 hours just to piss us off, right? It's going to be a thing. But it's all good because
it'll be the start of the second hour.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's I still maintain that Fox is looking for a reason to want to renew that contract, and Roman being there and this whole thing is going to be part of that, as I think will be the show at the Garden, but that's a whole other show.
But again, talk about the whole idea of finishing the story with this new title and apparently this new lineage that might overshadow the current history of the title of the company. It's a whole day of kettle of fish. And bringing MJF into this, 2024, another huge maybe. But right now, we're just starting the halfway point at 2023.
Yeah, I firmly believe that. Well, I firmly want to believe. Let me be clear on that, because I do agree with the sentiment in the room that I hope they don't discontinue the 60-year lineage to the WWE Championship, because if that happens tonight, not hurt again, Josh, still hurting from. Anyway, but if they go with that thought process where they go with Universal going forward, open mic night's going to be challenging for people to listen to me tomorrow, because there will be a full-on Meecham Musing style rant up in this bitch. Now, if they go with a new belt design, see, here's my thing with this. He's been the undisputed champion for over a year. He won the WWE Championship from Brock last year in Texas. So I think at this point, they've reached the milestone. They've done the things. I would be okay with them calling him one champion, doing away with the Universal Championship. We've all, except for a couple of reigns, we've all been pretty much pooping on the Universal Championship the entirety of its 7-year existence. Let's not kid ourselves. I mean, the first match to introduce the title leads to a buckle bomb taking Balor out for who knows how long that was. And then the freaking Kevin Owens show, which got derailed by Billy Boy. So I mean, from jump, it was just a mess. Reigns being the exception, Brock Lesnar's reign being an exception. But for the most part, the Universal title has always been, it's not the WWE title.
Yeah.
The World Heavyweight Championship getting a big introduction. Yes, we lampooned the tournament, as we should have. But the Rocket came out on top. And if you look at it, AJ looks like he's getting more aggressive now. He's going to become that, bring out that the eye of the tiger within him that we've been having lay dormant for far too long within a phenomenal wrestler like AJ Styles. So I'm okay with them having the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship, as the titles, just like it was for 11 years. I'm okay with that.
All right. Well, first off, thank you, GM, for your 2 cents on that. Always appreciate your insight, your knowledge, what you bring to the table, being a proprietor of Championship Legacy and somebody that's worked within the industry and seeing this firsthand. Ratnick here says, I could see them just merging the titles and sliding the 1,000 days and the 60-year lineage together as one thing. Same way they fudge the Mania attendance numbers.
Right, exactly. Now, see,
over inflation.
I had this off camera. I just forgot to bring it on camera when I came on.
Ooh,
I would be okay with the rumors for going around that they're going to do something like this, because there was that photo shoot, however long ago it was, that Roman had one of the winged eagles they have in the company's storage, or the company's possession or whatever. So I'm okay with the winged eagle and the big goal being on camera, even if it's not the actual things. Like, I'm okay with that.
Just quick thing at this point, fudge it. Special night, I'll figure out and Google it. We might just do the Simple Take together as the 3, but if you all want to continue the conversation into SmackDown, the East side of things, maybe we'll figure out a way to actually react to the feed here? Because it sounds like JM's going to be looking at the top of the hour. I don't know how, though.
Well, because my sister has graciously allowed me to use her Spectrum login because the Spectrum over here in this house is the app I get randomly random 2 through 13, just not channels, not ABC, which is so funny. Like even at their house, Jay, I can't watch ABC on at Teresa's house. I had to watch the hockey game on ESPN Plus the other day. I went, this is not going to work. I cannot watch my hockey, especially with the finals starting tomorrow.
Yeah, you would think it wouldn't work, right?
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I mean, I'm stuck at home for the duration of the Stanley Cup, so I got to be able to watch my hockey. So it is what it is.
I respect that.
And I think you should be too with Statboy. We talked about this, Noah.
I know. This is going to be a new venture for me, but don't think it means I'm going to start commentating hockey. I don't know the first damn thing about the sport.
No. I'm not saying commentate. No. That is a whole other animal. Oh, my God. Yes. JJ's trying to reel us back in.
Yeah, let's bring it back in here, folks. Yeah, so again, Josh Mansfield, thank you for the $2 super chat. Again, folks, if you want to side tangent and dictate the conversation, super chat as simple as that. But the bottom line is this. A title is defined not just by physical description or presentation. It is defined by the history made by such its designation.
Exactly.
2 titles, merged into one, physical appearance, maybe. But under these circumstances, I'm critically against considering one title as a 60-year legacy. The other one has 7. And that's all I'm going to leave it as.
Right.
All right.
The winning company, WWE, has always been the purveying, when they merged the WCW title, the WWF Championship lineage remained. Same when they merged the World Heavyweight title with Randy and John, the WWE Championship lineage remained. So that's how they should do it.
The only problem with doing that is if you do that, you cut Roman's 1,000+ day reign off at the legs. That no longer exists.
Because one title was only part of 1/3 of that.
Yeah, it's
WWE Championship. He hasn't even broken Punk's 434-day record yet.
Exactly.
No, that's true. The
problem with that is, you either get rid of the WWF Championship that's got a 60+ year lineage in order to keep the 1,000-day, or you keep the WWE Championship and you squash the 1,000 days.
Or you pull a Heyman legal,
loses the belt.
Or you pull a Heyman legalese and find a way to merge both and just say it on air and just we all just toe the line and acknowledge one or the other.
What the hell is this? ECW?
Yes.
Damn it!
In that case, Shane Douglas should be champion. Bring him back.
Anyway. Oh God!
All right. What's the next match, Noah?
Well,
we're 30+ minutes in, and we've only talked about one match from Night of Champions.
I did say super chats dictate the conversations, right? At the end of the day, folks.
Leave it to Josh to derail us, though.
Yeah, well, people, he's not just the Meltzer proclaimed by you. He is I am the derailer. But he didn't crash for a wall with a freaking super stormtrooper mask on his face. Oh, man. All right. Chat's still on it, too.
Still less destructive than Ryback. Anyways.
Damn! All right. We'll check y'all's comments here in a moment as we keep moving forward. Let's go ahead and as we talk about maybe our dissatisfaction in a possible title legacy ending, how fitting this guy's here. Because I'm sure he got his dose of Stratusfaction. As we saw, she still got it. Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus went 1-on-1. But that was not the whole story to this match here. Now, usually I'm the guy that breaks down, but again, folks, this wasn't necessarily a wrestling match. This was more so, I would think, just a refreshing session for, 40+-year-old veteran, 8-time former WWE Women's Champion. But what the heck do I know? JJ, your thoughts on this match and apparently the new mentorship we are getting.
That for me, that's the bigger story coming out of this than even the match. Trish did what she needed to do. She proved that she could still go in there with a top tier caliber like the man, Becky Lynch. At 47 years old, damn near 50. Holy fuck, she doesn't look it.
Right? That yoga
But
stuff, man.
the real story, I think, coming out of here is the partnership between Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark. I was so curious what they were going to do with Zoe Stark when they drafted her to Raw. For the entire time I've been watching my NXT, not your NXT, damn it.
Damn it.
You digress.
I've been not sold on Zoe Stark. I've been saying for a year she needs something. I can't put my finger on it, but she needs something.
Right.
And I believe the puzzle piece just fits. She needs somebody like Trish. Zoe's promos are rocky at best. Granted, Trish's haven't been, 5-star classics since her heel turn. Definitely not delivering, the 04 promos that she did when she turned and aligned with Christian after screwing Jericho over. But
over $1 Canadian.
Trish still has that experience from having been in the ring with people like Lita, Victoria, Molly, Gail, Mickey, Melina, etc.
Jacqueline.
To really help guide Zoe to that next level of the stratosphere for her career within the main roster. I am so excited to see where this develops, and I had already dismissed Trish's heel turn. This development has got me perked up now when her music hits. And the fact that they added the Little Kim verbiage there in the intro, which didn't used to play when she came out. Just another way to freshen something that's kind of always been there. But just dropping that little, I don't care what y'all say, immediately made me register something's different in her music. Because you don't usually hear that as she comes out.
No.
Yeah, it's on the CD, it's on Spotify, it's on the album, but you never would hear that part when she came out. So immediately, something is different.
All right. Well, this is a hot take, Jeff. Again, it's one of those things we look at the legend training the rookie, because Zoe Stark is still very much a rookie in her WWE career, despite her athletic background and her always trying to make herself a focal point in NXT. They'll never claim the NXT Women's Championship. But to say that Trish wins Money in the Bank and cashes in on Mommy? Josh, you want something?
I agree and I disagree. Hear me out. Hear me
All
out.
right, you go ahead, then we'll hand it over to JM for a moment. Go ahead.
Trish doesn't need Money in the Bank.
No.
Let Trish fight Rhea at SummerSlam at Ford Field and take the strap off of Mommy. Let Zoe win the briefcase and eventually cash in on her mentor.
That's deep.
That's lots to unpack there.
I mean, Trish did work her way into a valet role for her own gain. I'm just saying. So
it would be very Evolution-esque. Trish would be trying to get Zoe to cash in on Asuka. And instead, Zoe turns around and cashes in on Trish.
Yep, what do you have to add with
and then when Trish is like, why? I didn't do anything you wouldn't have done.
Yeah, and that gives Zoe a pretty big babyface shot in the arm, which I'm not opposed to necessarily, as long as they do it right. But I will, as much as I love having Trish back, and I will always be grateful for WWE for bringing her back and to whoever's helping her train, because goddamn.
Yes, let's just go ahead and say right here, thank you, Trish.
Thank you. That's right. Thank you, Trish.
Well, actually,
thank you.
For those that don't know, I don't usually agree with both these gentlemen on the same thing often, but this I will. Thank you, Trish. She still got it.
Okay, well, good. Then I won't say thank you, Karen.
We got him to acknowledge one here today. We'll take that as a W.
Don't get used to it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I was going to lead it by thanking Karen Jarrett, but I didn't want to start that firestorm. Anyway, so back to WWE because Aubrey Edwards and Guitar Face. We didn't talk about that today.
We'll talk about that tomorrow on the double.
Cover that tomorrow. Yes.
Oh gosh.
Thank you, Trish. That's right. Thank you, Trish.
There you go.
So anyway, I'm loving having her back, but I don't think I need her as the champion. And I say that because it would be great. It'd be a great story, comeback story after all these years, not having been champion or singles champion in, give me a second, 17 years. It'd be cool, but I'd rather see the current crop, the young kids, if you will, contest for the championship. For the record, I don't want Charlotte back in the title picture for a while either. Like, keep her out of there too, just to keep things fresh and different and not, so we're falling back on old habits because we don't know any better when we know Hunter does. Right. And we know Sean does. So although, Sean was using his old habits to further the GGJC story, but that was fun to watch. I would personally like to see the Trish Becky thing, maybe not blow off at SummerSlam, but have a definitive Becky gets a strong win in a major venue. I don't want Trish to lose at SummerSlam again, but I think if you want to get Becky back in a more dominant position, you have to give her a big win at some point. And I don't know if, as big as Money in the Bank could live up to be, I don't think it's big enough. I think Becky needs the win at SummerSlam. So maybe Becky faces Zoe at Money in the Bank. If neither of them are in the briefcase match, we find out about Becky, I think, Monday. If she's, or maybe I forget if her qualifying match was Monday night or if it's coming up. But
did you watch Raw, JJ? Do you know?
I did watch Raw. I don't remember what they said.
Okay, fair enough. It was Monday, folks. It's Friday. We're all tired.
Yeah, for real. I've been on video overload this week, so
God bless you.
Yeah. I don't remember if Becky shot his or if Becky's qualifying match was last Monday or is this coming Monday. So forgive me, but anyway.
No, sir. Research. Go.
Yes, yeah. Mansfield, make it happen. Either way, I personally would like to, if they don't qualify, put them against each other. That way we keep Trish and Becky apart and have them be a marquee rematch at SummerSlam. Title wise, I'd be fine if Trish was champion, but I prefer not to be.
My only thought process on that is it's a great way to allow Trish to work with the rest of the current crop of women.
Agree.
Otherwise, she's only going to be shoehorned into this Becky Lynch feud.
Yeah, I don't want to see this thing go further.
You give her a title belt, then you can have Trish versus Natalya, Trish versus Zoe, Trish versus Shotzi, Trish versus etc., Isla, Alba. There's all these other women on the roster that you can have Trish feud with and try to help elevate these other women.
I see.
Shotzi is in desperate need of elevation.
To be
Natalya
fair,
is in serious need of elevation, and it's painful for me to say that.
Yeah. No, you're right, though. You're right.
Bayley has been floundering for so long. She's in desperate need of elevation. Dakota, when she comes back. Io's in desperate need of elevation. There's a lot of women that have not had the chance to shine because of the horsewomen and Ronda in recent years. Chelsea could use the opportunity. Sonya, Shayna even, and Trish being champion and having the opportunity, even if it's just a throwaway Raw match.
This be a way to do it.
Helps elevate those women because they're in the ring with arguably the GOAT WWE female wrestler.
True. A couple of things. First of all, thank you, Emmanuel, for that. Second of all, Zoe and Becky are not in the same match. I know Zoe's facing Natty, which I was like, God damn it, because I want Natty to rebound from that squash, and that ain't happening. Yes, that shit ain't happening. So Becky's facing, I think, Sonya is what I think you just said. So
Josh just confirmed it. This coming Monday. So it's Becky versus Sonya, Natalya versus Zoe. Now, in a clear world, I see Becky and Zoe both being in it. furthering the
Exactly.
feud with them, and then Trish being involved as well. And maybe this is a way to bring Lita back into it. And instead of singles, this is your tag team match waiting to happen at SummerSlam. Trish and Zoe versus Lita and Becky. Because remember, Lita was taken out by Trish. And why I think Josh said, run back Lita versus Trish one more time. I think we kind of passed that in 2006.
Yeah.
I was actually going to agree with Josh about Trish and Lita in a rematch at Gotcha, Manuel. Thank you. I would be okay with Trish and Lita going one-on-one at SummerSlam and having it be Zoe against, Becky, just to have it. But I still say one or both of them in Money in the Bank is better.
Right.
And
hopefully Zelina will win that match tonight.
Yeah, look, let's just put it out there right now. Please let Zelina win. She deserves the moment. Give her a chance. Thank you. Okay, anyway. Continue.
Well, for the record, I can't watch at 5 o'clock anyway, so we are good to go through until until it's time. So
hey,
yeah,
let's just keep
I'm
killing
good to
time.
go.
This is fun.
So let's just go ahead and throw it out there now, since we do have the Meltzer of the multiverse, Josh Mansfield, in the chat room. Mansfield, if you start
No
spoilers.
spoilers.
Yes, if you start putting spoilers in the comment section, sir, you
Yep.
will be owing some super chats tomorrow on open mic night.
I will throw things at you through the camera. It might hurt my phone, but it'll be worth it.
No, Mansfield. Try not. Do or do not. There is no try.
There is no in between. There is no gray. There's just black and white. At the end of the day, please do not smell spat down during this feed. Thank you kindly. A lightsaber comes into play.
Try? No.
It's a purple lightsaber. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. And
Means I'm a
Josh
bad
like,
motherfucker is what it means. Anyway,
fair enough. All right. Well, the bottom line, Zoe Stark is the future being endorsed by, let's just call it this, living legend,
Yep.
feuding with currently one of the GOATs of today's generation in Becky Lynch. This should be good all around for the women's division that definitely needs some rebuilding and some depth. This is a good starting point if this is the case.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
right.
For the record, Josh, you can let us know in private when the Roman segment is on the show. That way I don't have to sit there and try to guess through the whole 2 hours because I hate that shit, but don't tell us what happens.
There we go.
I love Emmanuel's comment. Spoiler alert, there's some baby faces and heels that will win or lose tonight.
Oh, hell. All right. Kick him out. That's it.
No, we can't kick him out. He subscribes to the members only.
I know. That's
and-
why I'm
and
saying
he
it.
super chats regularly.
And to be
I
fair,
understand that. That's why
That's
I said
accurate.
for Emmanuel.
that's 100%. That's 100% accurate. Let's be honest here.
That's more accurate than anything Meltzer or Keller have said in 20 years. So, there is that.
Oh,
Walk
Tell me
off.
when tell me when he's telling lies. Just saying.
Right?
I
That's
mean,
it.
I mean, where's the lie? Okay.
Where is the lie?
That-
Where's the love is what I want to know. Where is the love?
Well, tell me if Mustafa Ali received enough love from Saudi Arabia when he took on Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. This was not a Rocky story, folks, but I will give the man credit for his first big-time opportunity since, I believe, Fastlane 2019 for the WWE Championship held by the new Daniel Bryan. He hung in there, and then he got chopped and powerbombed into oblivion, and it got turned into a bittersweet symphony. You all know how I feel about the Intercontinental Champion. You all know how much I respect Walter, aka Gunther, Ring Comp, the former NXT UK champion, the workhorse to a degree right now, I would say, in WWE. JJ, for me, I have not cared about the Intercontinental Championship, especially this exception as far as belt presentation goes and design, but I digress. I have not cared about the Intercontinental Championship to this degree since The Miz in 2016. I can't believe I just said that on air, too. But that being said, it is what it is. I'm a man. I simply say what I mean, simple as that. But he is the guy right now to set a new standard for the precipice and the presence of the Intercontinental Championship. We talked about him being the honky tonk man's record. I look at this entire roster. Nobody internally, to me, feels like the guy that could dethrone Darlene General. He is that good. He is on another level. But Mustafa Ali, he pulled out all the stops. He got very close after he hit the 450 splash, And then it was Kearns from there after the friggin' drop kick from hell, or Austria, excuse me, and then power bomb. But you did give Mustafa Ali some potential here to actually maybe surprise us because with Saudi Arabia. Did he meet your expectations in this chance for the title?
Absolutely. You know, I think it was a situation where everybody saw Mustafa Ali versus the Ring General Gunther and immediately dismissed him.
Yes.
You know, pull out the bitch be gone spray, psh, go away, you know, off mosquito repellent. You can't sit with us.
Right.
You know, and I think Ali's entire mentality, win, lose, draw, death in the ring, was I deserve to be in this match. And he proved that not just to me, but I think to everybody in the multiverse of media that watched. If you were walking into a Vegas bookie situation and you had $100 in your hand, were you going to put it on Mustafa Ali?
No.
Fuck no. Now, if the bet was, will he survive X amount of minutes with Gunther? Then I might have put it on there because everybody was dismissing it as a squash. So you would have come the fuck up on that bet.
Yeah, he went beyond 8 minutes with the man.
Seriously. People expected this match to be what the Natalya match ended up being, and we'll get there when we get there.
All right, let's calm down.
I am calm, but that's what everyone expected out of this match, is what that was.
Right.
And everyone expected what that ended, that was going to be what this ended up being. And they completely flipped on us. So for that and that alone, you've got to give credit to the WWE for booking, for catching us off guard.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been a Mustafa Ali fan since I saw him return last year out of nowhere. He has constantly impressed me. Granted, does he get the opportunities that some of the other talent in the roster get, that Ricochet get, that Theory gets, that even Dominic Mysterio gets, you know, good old Dom Dom?
Yeah.
No.
Talk about him shortly.
No, he doesn't.
No.
But every time he gets in the ring, he makes the most of those opportunities. And you've got to give respect to those type of individuals. So I know I've gone on a little bit of a diatribe here, but Mustafa Ali did impress the shit out of me, and I hope he gets to get into Money in the Bank, because we all know he's not going to win that briefcase. But he's going to go out there and steal the fucking show.
Jeff, we saw Money in the Bank a few years ago. Mustafa Ali came this close, and then a Beast Incarnate made sure he had a crashing finale of the sadder sort. But that being said, Mustafa Ali, he's always been one of those guys that is, not to take a line from Blake Christian, all heart. He truly puts it all out there whenever he can. And again, he hasn't had a major opportunity like this since 2019 Fastlane when I saw it live, and he got booed out of the damn building because he was an alternative to what was Kobe Mania at the time. I would say here, though, based on where he was and what he was going for, because yes, the Intercontinental Championship is the workhorse championship, the wrestling championship. It's one of those phases where the champion moves forward his challenger, pushing them to a degree to push him even further. Gunther took Ali for granted for a split second and gave us that special disbelief that he could have lost in that moment. So it's a fine balance what Gunther does, not just with his opponents, but with his overall presentation in the ring. Technical difficulties. But what was your thoughts on Mustafa Ali? Do you think maybe next time, if he gets another chance, he could get it done? And as far as the prestige and the legacy of the Intercontinental Championship, again, going all the way back to Pat Patterson, where does Gunther stand for you in your fandom as far as the title's legacy?
Gunther is the best champion of this century. Better than Miz, better than anybody that's been Intercontinental Champion going back to if we're being actual proper daters, January 1st, 2001, I think he's the best Intercontinental champion we've had. And I say that because there were some solid champions after the demise of WCW and the Ruthless Aggression era, without a doubt. Yes, I'm saying he's a better Intercontinental champion over the course of his reign, presentation-wise, than even our good buddy RVD. Because he took the title that had been, for lack of a better term, oh, that's right, it's still here, to people, yes, better than Chris Jericho's Intercontinental champion. Yep.
And he had the title 8 times. This is Gunther's first.
I know. And he has made the Intercontinental Championship desirable and watchable again. We talked about it on all our watch-alongs. How long did we go between PLEs without an IC title defense? Almost a year, or over a year at least. I remember that.
Yeah, over a year.
It was ridiculous. And even then, it was a WrestleMania, and it was I think it was the pandemic WrestleMania, and it was almost a throwaway type match. And we didn't get anything. Not just WrestleMania. We didn't get any PLE title defenses at all.
Nope.
And like, now that he's champion, it's like, okay, who's he going to face next? We're wanting to see it.
Gunther is the Roman Reigns of the Intercontinental title division. He grabbed
Acknowledge
that belt
that.
and said, acknowledge me.
Yeah.
Acknowledge this belt.
Yeah.
Acknowledge the Ling General.
The Intercontinental Championship is sacred.
Damn right.
Yeah, it is. And I Lord help me for my acknowledgement of this. I have long subscribed here recently to the idea that the belts are props. I have been a Russo disciple on that front because they've just been there. Roman Reigns has proved me wrong. Gunther has proved me wrong. The Usos have proved me wrong. Kemi and Savin. Wow. Good night, Jeff.
Damn.
Kevin and Sammy are starting to get to that point. They're not there yet, but the Usos definitely got there, as did the New Day when they were champions. Not every reign, but a few of them. But the Intercontinental and US have just, up to Gunther, have just been like, oh, that's right. I forgot we still have secondary titles. It made me think of the Bischoff Initiative in 2002. Why do we have them around if we're not going to utilize them properly? Just freaking merge everything together.
Right.
So, and US champion right now, yes, it's Austin Theory, which we have to actually, I had to think about that for a second right now. But
what was his last title defense, JJ? That's your guy.
It was prior to Night of Champions.
Oh, it was on TV? Okay, I missed that one then, because I remember hitting Cena because I was there for that.
That's what I remember. We called that.
I was there for that and watching John's bald spot bounce off his head from the top of the stadium. Like, oh God, oh, horror.
He should have had a hat like that. By the way, Jeff, I do like that hat too. I have a fedora as well. Anyway, continue.
Actually, this is actually a trilby. This is actually a proper fedora. This is a trilby. But I do love this hat very much. I actually bought a hat similar to this for my friend Jonathan Catherine's wedding, also 6 years ago. And thank you, Don. Appreciate you. I did see that. I just didn't want to go off topic and go off on a tangent again.
Right. Anyway,
me and hats, I go all day.
Then let's not go Hager here. All right.
That's right. I love this hat. That's right. Where's my purple trophy? Goddamn it, AEW, make that happen. Anyway,
hey, no bucket hats.
Tony, you got money. Make the purple trophy a thing, and I'll buy a case of them off AEWshop.com or whatever the hell that's stupid with it.
No, Dick set.
Oh, speaking of AEW shop, tomorrow on open mic night, I will be wearing an AEW shirt for the first time in a long time.
Nice.
And I'll show you that hat I'm going to have with it before we go off the air today. Anyway.
All right. Back to Gunther.
So Gunther, yeah. He is the best Intercontinental champion of this century. So 22 years. I stand by that. Mustafa Ali, if he gets another opportunity, I'm a believer. Will he beat Gunther? Absolutely not. Does he have a possibility of beating the guy who beats Gunther? We'll see come September once he's past the honky-tonky meter. Till then, I am good riding this wave with him.
Absolutely. Indeed. And Daniel here saying that, again, the Workhorse Championship pushing forward to Grave Fanes. Maybe he holds it all the way close to the rest of his season at WrestleMania 40. Since he was the Iron Man Royal Rumble this year, let's keep that in mind, gentlemen. Maybe he literally could be the guy to take the World Heavyweight Championship, be the one that surpasses Seth and Rollins, who sets the precipice as the first champion. That would be very interesting for me, and definitely a callback match to the first time Walter and Seth met in the UK during 2019. By the way, shout out to Scott 2020 Gladiator. Welcome to Cast 18 Studios. Welcome to the membership. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yes,
But
thank
good
you
stuff.
for joining the members only section. Since you're a new member, feel free to go back, check out the exclusive content in there, such as Noah and myself calling Battleground from this past weekend. That just went in there yesterday.
Exactly.
I need to watch that and Double or Nothing still.
Again, there's too much wrestling. I still have to catch up on freaking Ring of Honor. I catch up on Impact. I got my DP. Okay, this is not the lexicon of the Simple Man's wrestling agenda. Let's keep moving forward.
No. But to be fair, there was a shit ton of wrestling,
and he's got to get all that in before Dominion this weekend.
Don't remind me.
That is on the air, and Jeff's at the director's chair, baby. Woo! God help us all.
Good. Yeah, exactly. Well, okay, so let's see here. Trying to remember the order. Fudge it. Let's just get this out of the way real quick, because talk about a contrast of this versus that. Do we talk about somebody who I believe is underappreciated, or do we talk about somebody that may have been underestimated when it comes to shenanigans to finally surpass the EST? Fudge it. Let's go ahead and talk about that first. Because was she ready this time? The answer, no. Because Bianca Belair defended the Raw Women's Championship. Yes, folks, I know they're SmackDown superstars. Brand split, LOL. Defended the Raw Women's Championship for the second time against Asuka, a.k.a. Kana. It was a very competitive back and forth match, but to me, it felt more psychological than physical. Every time Bianca tried for something, what did Asuka constantly do? She smiled. It's almost like every point you thought Bianca was in control, Asuka still felt like she was in the driver's seat. She knew what she had to do. She knew she was going to come out as champion. And she relied on what I thought she ran out of, not steam, the mist. And at one point, the mist did not hit. In fact, literally, Bianca Belair Matrix escaped it. Went for the KOD, but it was after Asuka got bumped into the ropes behind the referee. The mist still came into play where it mattered the most. Blinding the EST courtesy of Asuka's fingers coated in it. I've never seen misuse like that in any capacity. That was resourceful and that was brilliant. And with one shout out to Keiji Muto, a great move, I mean, the hell when I call it, a shiny wither in the back of the head. JJ, your EST has finally been defeated. And there is a new Raw Women's Champion. WWE once again, Kana did it.
Yeah. Kana did it.
The subtleness on this reaction versus the other reaction.
Right. Yeah. He just.
I mean, okay, look.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to take anything away from Asuka Kana. She's a hell of an athlete, a hell of a specimen. And I did want to see her get back to the top of the mountain.
Right.
I just feel that they started to get afraid of the crowd reactions, specifically after hearing the response for Zelina Vega at Backlash. And I think they decided to abort mission too soon when it came to Bianca Belair. Y'all have to realize, and it's the same thing that I was spewing, verbal diarrhea to Noah's ears for the longest time regarding Roman in the 1,000 days.
Right.
Which we did get to, despite the fact that Noah, James, and some other people felt that we shouldn't get there. It should have been lost at Mania. July 30th, Bianca would have become the longest reigning black champion in WWE history.
Right.
That is just under 2 months away. And they pulled the plug before they could get there.
Yep.
That would have been like Roman having lost at Backlash, having lost at Mania with 1,000 right on the cusp.
Yep.
The $1 million question is, in my mind, is did WWE make the right decision by pulling the plug when they did?
Right.
when they very easily could have just let it ride until SummerSlam
Right.
and given Asuka a bigger moment at a Big Four pay-per-view stateside, as opposed to giving her that moment in Saudi, which for years we across the multiverse referred to as country redacted and threw away, those as bullshit shows.
Right.
Personally, I think the moment would have been bigger if she had gotten the moment at SummerSlam. And Bianca would have been able to hit her target goal, becoming the longest reigning black champion in WWE history. Because SummerSlam would have only been 5 days later.
Right.
6 days later.
So you were thinking of hat trick. Maybe Bianca holds it down still, maybe shenanigans, gets disqualified or gets the championship, suddenly starts turning into that pompous, overconfident heel, and Asuka still messes with her mentality to the point she forces her into a third match, and that's finally where Asuka next reign as Roman champion begins. You were thinking more along lines like that.
Mm-hmm. And then, and we'll discuss this a little bit more tomorrow when we do the Double or Nothing simple take, but then you couple that with the fact that Jade at 508 days lost her title the same weekend. Not a great weekend for black women in the sport of professional wrestling. Just throwing that out there.
Let me try and counter that point. Trinity won it under Siege. Just wasn't for a championship.
Yeah,
but now we know she's going to fight for the championship.
Yeah,
But now we know she's going to fight
against
for the
Diana.
championship.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm just saying that was kind of like a 1-2 punch that I wasn't expecting this weekend.
No.
You got hit. You got double teamed on 2 days back to back.
Yeah. So
I mean, to be fair, for JJ,
that's for what it comes down to for me, because like I've said a few times on the multiverse, whether it's open mic night or our watch alongs, I try to look at things a lot more from a business aspect this time around, coming back into the fandom, and that was marketing lost.
Mm.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I was going to make a joke that, usually having a double team situation with Bianca and Jade wouldn't be a problem for JJ, but in this case, it was a major issue. Anyway.
God damn it, Meacham.
Damn it.
I will break this man before this weekend's over. Anyway.
Oh, God, help me.
I'm already going to break him tomorrow when I have to sing Joe Hendry's theme song on open mic.
Yes!
Oh, trust me, between what you're going to sing and what I'm going to wear, the entire multiverse is going to probably break down into freaking fragments. We're going to have Dr. Strange clean that shit up. It's going to be ugly. Anyway.
He believes!
Yes!
I don't believe that. I still don't believe. I just made a bet that I'd seen the song.
I know. There's a mutual.
Believing is contingent on the garden.
That's true.
Exactly.
That was that deal.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. JJ singing Joe Hendry's song. I'm doing what I'm doing tomorrow, and Bischoff's going to be bald because of CM Punk coming back. It's going to be an interesting summer, to say the very least.
And we're just getting into it. Anyway, there's been comments here, Jeff, about, again, like what Jeff's saying, would have been more wiser to do the heel turn at Money in the Bank or really push it forward at SummerSlam. Could they still do that? Is Damage Control, as we said, damaged goods? Could they break off? Is Io Sky going to go on her own? Maybe her and Asuka reform Kabuki Warriors of a different sort. Maybe she protects the champion. And yes, I know the champion says Raw, they're on SmackDown. Brand split, LOL. There's no brand identity. Deal with it. This is the WWE. Anyway, Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, well, first of all, throw the graphic back up for this match for me, if I may be so asked to have that inclined for me.
Oh, but the club.
So say something real quick. So it's really nice of Asuka to throw Alexa Bliss's head in there with her mask on since Alexa's off for the pregnancy. Good for her. I appreciate that. I appreciate Asuka doing that for Alexi, man. That's decent of you. Anyway, straight Alexa Bliss hairstyle. Tell me I'm lying. Anyway,
oh jeez.
That's the first thing I thought when I saw the graphic. I'm like, what the hell is Lexi's head doing in this shot? Anyway, and by the way, congrats to Ryan and Lexi, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow.
Absolutely.
As far as this match, I am, of course, very much Harvey Dent, split mind. I'm okay with Asuka winning, and I'm okay with the way she won because it was a very innovative way to use the mist. Muta never used the mist in the eyes. with anything but a spray being involved, nor did anybody else, Tajiri, Kabuki, any of them. So I thought that was really cool how they worked it in where she didn't get away with the miss. She did anyway. There it is, James, with the acknowledgments.
Damn it.
Just need to get Noah on board now.
No one needs to watch SmackDown, which is on right now, and I understand that. So, like I said, if you can let us know in the multiverse when it's on, so Noah can properly assess his YouTube watchings, we can take care of that. Anyway,
As you were.
I do agree that they missed a marketing opportunity in having Bianca, or not even really a marketing, because I don't know if they would have tried to market that. I think they would have tried to historically put that into historical context, without a doubt. But I don't think they would have marketed like they're clearly marketing the Roman 1,000 Days, which, by the way, we told your asses so. It was going to be a thing. We all told all y'all out there so it was going to be a thing. So, like this week, they just, all right, get the money printing ready. Thank you. That's it. Shirts, jackets, all that shit. So, which, on the way. Anyway,
As you were saying.
but I am okay with it as long as the heel turn or whatever they do with Bianca doesn't seem as forced as it was seeming like it was keeping her babyface. If it seems like there's a good, solid story, she feels wronged, she got screwed out of the title, very obviously, then I'm okay with it, but there has to be more than just, they screwed me, and she turns into Bret Hart 97, because then I'm going to go like, no, I'm good, thanks. As good as Bret was in 97, it's 2023, and it's Bianca, so no.
That's setting your standards low if you're acting like that.
But again, Bret in 97, had they not been on a collision course with Destiny at the end of that year, it could have been so good. And if Shawn and Bret were both behaving themselves, it could have been a hell of a much better year. Again, hindsight is what it is.
The other thing they need to not do is turn it into they're trying to keep the black people down.
Yeah. Please don't go the Teddy Long, Rodney Mack. No, please don't do that. God.
Because if the heel turn is going to be coinciding with the heel turn of the Street Profits, and they're finally all going to come together as a contingent on the air,
yeah,
it would be very easy to point out Gunther's reign, white, Roman's reign, Samoan, the Usos' reign, Samoans. But a black woman is less than 60 days away from becoming the longest reigning black champion in history, and you get me squashed.
Yeah, it's true.
It would be really easy for them to go down that road. If this is still Vince's WWE, they may go there. If Trips is truly in charge, they won't, and they'll find a better way to go.
Yeah.
I guess only time will tell. As again, we got Money in the Bank coming up. There's only one SmackDown qualifying match so far, though, and it doesn't include the previous Raw Women's Champion. And usually, as we know, under championship rules, they usually do get a contractually obligated rematch. And like you said, she had the title for over dadgum a year plus. She was the EST at WrestleMania once again, but Asuka found a way. So we will see what Bianca Belair's future holds soon enough.
Yeah.
But, yes,
I just felt that the crowd was very the entrance for Bianca was amazing with that group of little girls. That was so cool. Yeah. The ending felt very flat to me live. I don't know how it came off on TV to you guys watching. It came off very flat to me. So
it kind of caught me off guard, if I'm honest with you, because she went for the miss. Dawson couldn't believe it. She missed, pun intended. And then KOD, and it was over.
It was like, all right, yeah.
Like,
it seemed very sudden.
Yeah. You think about what Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair did. It took an avalanche effing riptide to beat the damn queen. And that match had 3 years of bad blood, pent-up frustration, and a story of redemption in the making. Asuka and Bianca, it almost felt like, due to that ending, it was just there.
Yeah, I mean, going into WrestleMania, there was no stopping Rhea Ripley. It was just fait accompli. It was a matter of how long the match was going to be. And it was a damn good match, to their credit. So this one for Asuka and Bianca, this match last weekend felt like it ended the right way as far as the direction we want it to go. I just feel like they're going to be playing catch-up ball with Asuka now because they took so long to get her back to the top of the mountain. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yep. Well, we talked about Mommy. We talked about Rhea Ripley. I'm not going to say anything else. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the JJ Simple Tirade, because now we're going to talk about the SmackDown Women's Championship defended by Raw superstars here. Grab a drink.
Welcome to Renegade's Rants, everybody.
Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. Rhea Ripley retained with a rip tie in less than 10 seconds. JJ, the floor is on you.
No pressure, boss.
You know, I'm going to try to be diplomatic and not go too off kilter here.
Right.
Because I feel like I did my due diligence during the call and during open mic night that followed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, and I'm just going to reiterate what I said earlier, the match that Gunther and Mustafa had should have been this match right here.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone anticipated that Mustafa was going to get squashed the same way Natty did here. There's no reason why Natalya should have been squashed the way she was in this match. The only thing I could think of, and the more I'm sitting here, the only two things I could think of.
Go ahead.
As far as why this match went the way that it did, is Natty was injured and we didn't really know the extent of it going in. And we already had this match booked. She was there. We just had to get through it. Or, and I'm only throwing this out because of one of the topics we're going to be discussing open mic night.
Stay tuned, folks.
Offbeat chance that she had just found out she was pregnant. And it just hasn't been released to the masses yet.
Be very bold.
Her and TJ have been together for a very long time. It is not out of the realm of possibility.
No.
I doubt that's the situation. But it would make sense why things were done very, very quick. Those are the only two things that would make any kind of sense to me.
All right. Because it wasn't like you in the
Natalya is a legacy diva, if you will. She has the family bloodline. And she is the longest tenured woman in the WWE, period.
I've been saying it for the longest time. How many times do I say it with you on the air? Locker room leader for generations. Even what you think about the Bellas, she was there guiding them when nobody else was giving them a snowball's chance in hell. Look at what they did.
Exactly.
Controversial or not, to your perspective.
And like, for her to constantly get the treatment she gets in the women's division is just abysmal to me.
Yep.
And this is part of why I have the hatred I have for Charlotte Flair.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I'm really trying to be good. I'm really trying not to go down that road. But you look at everything that Charlotte has accomplished in the WWE.
Tranquilo.
And you look at how little Natty has accomplished.
Yeah.
True.
Charlotte's push should have been given to Natty years ago.
JJ.
Period.
Period.
Okay, and nobody can convince me otherwise.
I was just going to put this in retrospective for you when you talk about the outlook of particularly this Hart and this Flair. In the very genesis of what became my NXT, at the very first, what they called a rival, it was literally a battle of generations. As Bret the Hitman Hart was in Natalya's corner, and Charlotte Flair was in Ric Flair's corner, Charlotte went over that night in that match for the NXT Women's Championship.
I remember that's actually on one of my NXT DVDs that I got over here of your Black and Gold NXT. I've seen that match.
That was the first actual takeover. Arrival was I think Emma and Paige before Paige showed up on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Raw.
I keep thinking Arrival. I keep thinking Arrival was the first takeover because that takeover was really when that NXT arrived. But I understand what they did.
Yeah, but I'm not going to convince you, JJ, but I will say that when Natty came in, they hadn't turned that corner yet as far as promoting the women properly. Because if they were promoting the women that were better wrestlers than just actually look good, Natty would already be a 2,500 time world champion. Let's be real. But Charlotte came in 2015. The revolution had already gone underway because AJ Lee had cut her promo. She was already gone. So, I mean, there is that. But yeah, I think Natty is much like Superstar Billy Graham, just a few years too early for her own good, unfortunately.
And I completely agree with Ratnick's take here. Natty is the Dolph Ziggler of the women's division.
She just hasn't won Money in the Bank yet.
She is the person that they throw out there with any woman that comes through those doors because they know Natty will make her look good.
Yeah.
Right. As far as Josh's comment advertising Natty for Money in the Bank qualifying, they can find a way out of that.
Yeah.
They usually do.
I mean,
and again, Josh, I said the pregnancy was not likely, least likely of the scenarios.
Yeah.
But it's one of the only two reasons I could think of why they would do her that dirty. Because Mommy would look stronger by having a tough knockdown, drag out fight with somebody the caliber of a Natalya than just squashing her. You save shit like that for someone like Carmella, who is out with a pregnancy.
Yeah.
You save shit like that for Dana Brooke. You save shit like that for Lacey Evans.
Right.
You know, you save shit like that for Candice LeRae. Because fuck her, that's why.
Oh,
you don't have shit like that to somebody like Natalya.
All right.
Like Natalya.
That is not the way, man.
You know, even Indy, you got to give them a beat down, drag out fight, and Mommy looks stronger in victory because she done went toe to toe with a tough bitch. Squashing her? No.
When you figure that Mommy went over on Charlotte at WrestleMania, and Corey Graves can go fuck himself with his words because he's not wrong.
But you know what, Josh Mansfield? Let Corey Graves have words with me. I'll get some fucking royalties for the fact that he stole After the Bell from us.
I am not of this world. I do not know enough about this.
Stick that in your boat and stir it there, Gravy. Anyway,
I'm just going to stay out of this conflict.
For real, though, Noah, if you didn't know, go back 12 years on the channel when Jeff came to Casa de 18 Studios from No DQ. Talk Wrestling became After the Bell with Jeff Meacham. Once Jeff went back and started working with No DQ again, all of a sudden there's a show on WWE called After the Bell, Corey Graves.
Wow.
Coincidence? I think not. And further proof that they watch us.
But not only that, Corey couldn't carry the show by himself. They've got freaking Kevin co-hosting with him now. Corey can't handle After the Bell. I got After the Bell. He can't handle this shit.
I mean, to be fair, I think Vic Joseph was also helping him co-host at one point. But yeah, anyway.
Well, Vic hosts NXT with Booker T now. I don't want to talk about that either. Anyway.
Who's really the voice of NXT? And his name's not Mara Ranella or Naja McGuinness. Just saying. Anyway.
Booker knows something about somebody for him to get this many commentary opportunities. I'm just saying.
And you understand,
Vic Joseph is struggling to get put into Booker T's Fave 5, dog.
I'd rather have Suckers Gots to Know Stevie Ray on commentary. Put it that way. Anyway.
Right. But let's get back.
Yeah, let's keep
as
going
far as this, again, Natty losing the way she did, I was going to say, Natty, Rhea beat Charlotte in arguably the best women's match of the weekend. I done said what I said at WrestleMania.
Right. And Backlash, she didn't beat Zelina.
She didn't beat Zelina Vega, which was such a great match and such a great opportunity for Zelina in her home country. The fact that Charlotte's ascent really kicked into high gear when she beat Natty in what I consider to be a tremendous women's match, and the best women's match I saw, had to be thoroughly convinced that Bayley versus Sasha was better. I can see that it is now, so it is what it is. But for like JJ said, Natty's become the Dolph Ziggler. In case of emergency or in case of need of, more over jobber, break glass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's bullshit because both Nick and Natty are so much better than that. I think, though, that Natty's at the same mindset as Nick is now. It's like, I'm happy to get paid. I'm doing what I love. I'll just go out there and do my shit. I really think that's where she is. That match on Saturday is not an example of that for Natty. So I don't think it's really, comparison-wise, that's not the same. But the overall presentation of Natalya versus Dolph Ziggler is very similar. I will say I agree with the majority of the chat room. Money in the Bank, whichever champion they decide to cash in on, it needs to be Zelina Vega. Zelina is over like Rover right now. And she got such a big pop. Yes, it was in her home country, but the television perception even still was like, God damn, Queen Zelina's over. Let's get this shit moving. Put the damn briefcase in her hand and watch what happens.
Yeah, former Queen of the Ring of all crazy concepts. And the Latino World Order is being endorsed by Rey Mysterio, who again is guiding younger Latino talent forward. Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wild, Raul Mendoza, and Zelina Vega. They're literally under Rey Mysterio's learning tree.
Yeah.
My only question is will Zelina still have that momentum in a month, in 2 months?
That's true. It's one.
We'll see what happens
one
tonight.
Spot.
The only way I could see her getting the briefcase making any kind of sense is if they make Backlash a Puerto Rico event like people have been pushing for, and she actually holds the briefcase and cashes in front of her home country crowd in Puerto Rico.
Calls her shot, maybe.
Yeah, bingo, and that's what Money in the Bank is all about. That'd be a bigger pop than what happened probably back in Dolph Ziggler at Puerto del Rio on a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
I think to this day that's still the biggest pop in Money in the Bank history, rivaled by WrestleMania 31, just because the fact had more people.
Yeah. It's nice to be able to talk about the women's division and not be completely just, again, we're starting to get a little momentum back on all fronts. Yeah. AEW's women's division got shaken up this last weekend. Impact's looking better. So
yeah, I was going to say this weekend was a hell of a weekend for women's wrestling.
Damn it.
Between Jordan Grace and Deonna Purrazzo, Giselle Shaw and Trinity, you had the 2 women's matches here. Freaking
3.
Rhea and Natalya. Yeah, 3. Thank you, Trish.
Oh, that's right. Asuka, Bianca, and Becky.
And Asuka and Bianca. You had the ones on Double or Nothing. Freaking Jade
Tony and
Tony coming up to ascend the throne. And then you had Tiffany Stratton in the finals of the Battleground tournament, winning that belt. That's 8 solid women's matches.
9
matches.
9 actually, because during Countdown, by the way, also under siege, JJ, Courtney Rush, Jessica Havoc took on the Coven, Taylor Wilde, and Connie King. That is 9 representations of women in wrestling across 4 different, technically 3, but NXT is its own thing, 4 different divisions of wrestling companies. That's special.
Yeah.
In one weekend.
And then, like James points out, then you want to factor in the ones at Resurgence the week prior that Mercedes and Willow had, wrestling twice for both of them.
Yes.
True.
Hell of a week for women's wrestling. Despite the outcome of this particular match.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things where you can try and rewrite this match. In the end, it'll be the same. But when it comes to wrestling, the story is what happens after the first bell and up to the last bell. And in a way, you could say that when we talk about one particular individual where JJ, again, you are trying to literally write his story, and I hope that he finishes it on time. And you can call it what you want, call it foolish, call it brave, call it an act of survival, if nothing else. Because this was fucking ridiculous. As Cody Rhodes, with one arm not broken, fought, not wrestled, fought Brock Lesnar in what truly was a test of survival. And while his will was not broken, his body gave out. So, simply put, JJ, on your roads to finishing the story, I don't think Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar are done with each other yet. Considering the clip I saw, Cody Rhodes has literally called out Brock for an open freaking challenge. You fucking madman. I don't know what you're trying to prove. Move on. Was this the smartest decision for Cody Rhodes on his road to try and finish his story? You would think he would just sell for the fact that he and Brock Lesnar, okay, we're technically 1-1. You got me, but I endured you. What else do I need to prove? What is Cody Rhodes really trying to prove to himself at the end of the day at the expense of Brock Lesnar? He calls himself the gatekeeper. Cody Rhodes, you've already been given the key. You opened the gate. You went through it. You got blasted by barbed wire. You stepped on a landmine. Was that not enough punishment for you? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result. I understand storylines and trilogies, but this is Brock fucking Lesnar. We're in Money in the Bank season, folks. JJ, you're running out of time here, but you're fussing this ridiculous fight that Cody Rhodes didn't lose, but in a way, still survived.
I think you just hit the nail on the head right there with your final statement. You know, you mentioned that it's now 1-1 when it comes to Cody and Brock. I think Cody would argue that it's 1-0-1 because Cody was not pinned. He did not submit. He passed out. This was very much WrestleMania 13, Brett and Austin.
Right.
While we didn't have the double turn like that match is notorious for, Austin never tapped. He didn't quit. He didn't give up. He was not pinned. He resisted everything that the excellence of execution, the Beast Incarnate, brought his way. So I think in Cody Rhodes' mind, he's 1-0-1. Yes, technically, match didn't end in a draw, but that's a technicality. You know, I think that the open challenge was brilliant by Cody. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we all know Brock's not going to show up there every single week.
No.
So now you've got the added drama. You know, WWE Live Raw in Sheboygan. You know, go buy your tickets in Sheboygan. Cody Rhodes going to get surprised by Brock Lesnar?
Selling points, suspension of disbelief. When does the moment happen, if ever?
Exactly. Is it going to show up on a random Raw? Is Brock going to come and interfere at Money in the Bank at the O2? Is he going to save the match for SummerSlam in Ford Field? Everybody says that Cody should go after Roman at Ford Field. What if he's already completed his story, like I've said? Gotten the briefcase, cashed in. Cody's now champion. Brock's coming back for his anytime, any place match. Now you got Cody versus Brock for the belt.
I guess that really comes down to if Cody Rhodes' focus is on either Brock Lesnar at this moment or his story. The story obviously is the end goal. It's almost like a video game. You got your primary and you got your secondary. It's almost like Brock Lesnar at this point. You think he's a side quest. But to Cody Rhodes, he's right now his main objective. I feel that Cody Rhodes' focus has been rattled in this act of pride to show that he literally can not only survive, but surpass Brock Lesnar. In a way, Brock Lesnar right now is dictating Cody Rhodes' story. You think Cody Rhodes is in control? I don't think he isn't, because now he's given Brock Lesnar all the free range to do what he wishes. And Brock Lesnar is a guy that doesn't act on someone else's merit. He acts on his own agenda. He was the one that picked the fight with Cody Rhodes the day after WrestleMania. That's where this whole thing began. And again, at this point, Brock hurt Cody, but Cody technically didn't give up, but Cody also didn't win. For Brock, he got paid. He got the win. Is that enough satisfaction for the Beast incarnate? Emmanuel with a point here, because I also thought about this too. 1-arm lift. Now, truth be told, I remember a time when they did the 3-arm lifts. If I remember correctly, Jeff, at Revolution, in Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the TNT Championship, and he was trapped in the freaking sleeper hold, did they not lift the arm not once, not twice, but 3 times, and it literally went down the 3rd time before the freaking match was called? Why did they choose at that point to call an audible with 1 arm drop? This wasn't Scott Armstrong saving Triple H from Brock Lesnar. The Brock Lesnar already broke his arm. And Cody Rhodes was in that Kimura between those 2 times over 4 minutes at least. No normal man would survive that, let alone endure that. And he did. So was that 1 arm drop maybe an audible in the name of Cody Rhodes' long-term legacy to prevent further injury? Just saying.
The audible was, Natty had to be cut short. We're still going long. Get him out of the ring.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was, for real. As far as the actual match goes, I brought the belt back in the picture because we're talking about this and we're talking about the Bloodline match next. So I want to make sure this is
yes, how
paramount in the picture, because at the end of the day, this thing on my shoulder is what Cody has talked about for over a year.
Yes,
the WWE Championship, and I think that yes, his focus is sidetracked now. Because other than the championship, there is no bigger beast of burden right now in WWE than Brock Lesnar. There's just not. He's the guy that you have to go through. He's the gatekeeper to the main event again. You know, he's the guy that beat the streak. He's the guy that haunts my nightmares every summer, right around the middle of August or so. It is what it is. For real. I dread August for reasons now. More so than I ever did.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, August 2001 was the original, car accident. August 2014 was another LA accident that didn't need to be seen by public people. God, let alone 20,000 of us. Anyway,
fair enough.
I had some good food in that suite, though. I will say that. That's food. Just drown my sorrows in the free food and the booze. It'll be okay.
Hey, food makes everything better. That's all I got to say about that. Food, glorious food. But let's not go down a sub-tangent.
Yeah, I'm gonna improve food's not always a good comfort. I still, until I see otherwise, seeing is believing, believing is seen. Scott Calvin and his people in the Santa Claus universe taught us that all those years ago. Until I see a situation that Cody is not standing in the middle of the ring at Madison Square Garden with a version of this over his head, I still believe that's where we're going. This thing with Brock is what it will be for the next 30 something days, give or take. Give it almost 40 days at this point. So I subscribe to the, and by the way, don't be hating on Sheboygan, because Cody Rhodes can walk out there, call off Brock Lesnar, and Edward P. Thomson can walk out there and go, I accept your challenge.
I just remember the Rock DVD and Jericho talking about Sheboygan as just this random city.
I know.
So that's where I pulled that out of. But
no. I agree. It just
at the end of the day, and I'm gonna take a reference that I know Jeff gets, but no one's gonna scratch his head like, what the fuck are we talking about?
It's normal.
It's the rule of 2.
Yes.
In order to get to the final boss of Roman Reigns, Cody's got to go through Brock.
Yeah. Especially now with the bloodline.
Before you can get to Palpatine, you've got to go through Maul. You've got.
I play Mortal Kombat arcade mode. I know you go up a tower before you hit freaking Shao Kahn. So this is.
That's basically what it is. Cody's having to reclimb the tower, and the tower is no longer held up by the Anawahi family because they're about to implode here, within the next hour and a half. So,
theoretically speaking,
TikTok, right, Crossing Scarlet. Anyway, remember, good. Yeah, yes, we know. We are avoiding. Please, yes, again. Please.
I just put it out there as a disclaimer again because I love the engagement here, but we have our primary, and I'm sure people are going to be all over us when it comes to what we're about to do. But please continue to finish this thought out.
Yeah, I really want to see how everything plays out between tonight and the Garden, and before I make my final decision about what Cody's going to do. And I know I'm holding it out and being that guy, but as much as you want JJ, damn, I reckon so. As much as you want JJ to believe in Joe Hendry, and that may happen if the Garden is playing, but as much as you want JJ to sing this song tomorrow night, I subscribe to JJ's theory about the Garden and Cody, whether it's the contract and the briefcase or not. For the record, I firmly believe that whether Cody holds the briefcase or not is irrelevant to the overall story. The story is Cody winning the championship in the Garden. Doesn't matter if he wins the briefcase. Right. Doesn't matter if he goes up to to Roman on Monday before and kicks him in the nuts and go, "I'll see your ass in the Garden, bitch." Something. Damn. Like, seriously. And without the bloodline in front of him, he may be able to do that. So, you know.
And again, for everybody out there that doubts this and is like, "Oh, they're not going to have Roman drop the belt on a random SmackDown."
You don't know that.
Well,
you've got to keep some things in mind.
Please remind them.
Number one, ticket sales.
Mm-hmm.
WWE is going to do bigger and better ticket numbers if it's out there once again that at any event the championship can change hands.
Right.
We've gotten so conditioned to the fact that the belt can only change hands on the pay-per-views, the PLEs, the big money shows, if you will.
Yep.
For a title to change hands at a random SmackDown is going to increase ticket sales to live events. Number one.
Cause and effect.
Number two, you've got to keep in mind where the image of Dusty was taken that Cody showed that night on Raw after he came back at Mania last year.
MSG.
So it's not a random. So it's anything but a random SmackDown. That's what makes it not random.
And then number three, WWE is going into next year needing to negotiate a new deal with Fox. You have a title match of that magnitude on SmackDown, on Fox, where the titles change hands. And as a result, ratings go to the moon.
Aaron Grimes, who you hope one day might be Money in the Bank, but this year probably not his time.
That's
Man.
Everything that you've got to look at, because Fox is then going to see that somebody of some kind of permanent show up isn't going to take 3 months off for a vacation just to get another 90 days on their title reign.
Accurate.
That's what Fox wants as the champion on their brand. That's what Comcast USA wants as the champion on their brand. So to put that belt onto Cody in that fashion, now they know they've got what they want. They've got ratings. They've got a champion that's going to show up and be there. Everything falls into place.
That's a hot take, Josh. But again, I completely agree with you.
Here's the thing with that.
Dang.
In all likelihood, I will be on the No DQ review that weekend, which will be July 9th.
Ooh.
July 9th, Sunday's on a happy anniversary for me. Anyway, 2000, looking at you, Russo.
Bro,
looking at you, bro. Screwing over Terry, bro. Anyway, if it goes down on the 7th.
That situation, too.
Yeah, I know. Whether I am there on the review on the 9th or not, I will find a way to get JJ acknowledged by those who need to acknowledge him.
I will be one of them.
Because every source we talk about, even the great and powerful NorCal Numbskull, didn't say it before he did. Straight up. So
NorCal Numbskull by the
I was gonna say that's a hell. I just had the okay. That's
good creative.
NorCal Numbskull and the freaking Observer font. I'm doing that shit when we got off the air. Hell yeah. Okay.
Damn.
Anyway,
And see if you can find some kind of jimmied up shark to use on there too, just to get a double dig in.
right on. Do not threaten me with hockey good times, JJ. I'm already upset about what's going to happen tomorrow, and I know you're more into it than I am because Vegas. Anyway,
Love you, Beecham.
no, seriously. No, okay, here's the thing. I will reveal. I'll tell you what. I'll reveal my awards. What?
I said that shirt. Buy that shirt. That one's actually already for sale.
That's fair. Yeah, I will definitely tell you what my wardrobe's going to be, and there will be a caveat to that wardrobe when we get to the end of this show for tomorrow night's show. Anyway, yeah, Cody's story needs to be with the championship. So Brock is very much a detour. I really feel he's a detour until we get through tonight and see exactly what the bloodline does. I firmly stand by that because today is the keystone in the wall of the bloodline storyline. Whatever happens tonight will dictate the rest of this year and beyond. Period. Again,
Good
Fox
argument.
wants ratings. Fox wants a draw. I am purposely not trying to find a way to San Diego like I was going to see the Kitties tonight because I want to see what happens on SmackDown.
That's perfectly fair. Again,
I'd be on my way if otherwise. I wouldn't be here. I'd already be on my way to San Diego, put it that way, if I was going. So the fact that I'm here looking at the TV going, is it 8? Yeah, I am all in on this.
I like what you did there because if we're being honest, Jeff would have been on his way to San Diego on Tuesday and just stayed there and been there for Dynamite, had a day to play, and then seen the Kitties.
Well, there you go. I mean, yeah, just have fun while you're there and then get to your main event. Speaking of which, I know we've had a lot of fun. We had a lot of side conversation, but again, everything comes full circle here on Simple Takes. And this is definitely one of the most unique Simple Takes that really is a cohesion of immersion in this continued storyline of the ages, unlike anything we've ever seen in our family WWE. And I mean, heck, if James can even talk about the fact that literally we are celebrating a milestone in this modern era unseen like any other. Clearly sees, talks about himself. Milestone, muddled in controversy, great storytelling, fell at fair effing play, despite the whole thoughts about creativity in the whole Roman Reigns spectrum. Take that for what you will. We're not talking about the Marvin Gaye song here, folks. But he wanted me to save it for the main event. That's why I brought it up here. And again, those are alleged reports as far as that last thing goes. Let's go ahead and talk about the reason that brought us here tonight. Because Night of Champions did not end in the crowning of a new champion, but it ended in the turning point for the longest reigning champion of the modern era. Here we fucking go. Because Night of Champions culminated in this main event for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships as Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens defended the gold against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa with the special counsel in the corner. I have said it verbatim since the day the tribal chief truly came to be, theme, presentation, theatrics included. When he is involved on your screen, it is not about the match result. It's about the story. And the story of this, simply put, before I give it to the ultimate diatribe tonight, and then he can pass it off to him when he's ready. And chat, this is when I expect you to be Bulkbusters gang over on this. I know I just missed words. You all get it, botch. One sentence. The super kick heard around the world as one cousin chose to finally step off the island of relevancy to his own personal choice in what others may deem a land of obscurity. JJ, take it away.
All right, before I go neck deep into this, I want to go back to something that Roman referenced at the WrestleMania press conference after the show, when he discussed how the story that they're telling, they're only in the third inning at this point. A lot of people think, oh, well, he's been champion for close to 3 years. Third inning, each inning is a year. I've been trying to look at this as if you want to think about this in terms of a true baseball game. And again, I know you're not big on sports, so you may or may not get this reference. But when you're watching a real baseball game, some innings take longer to get through than others. Some innings, it's 3 men up, 3 men down, next team on the field.
I get that.
Other innings, you can sit there, you can go through your entire lineup and start to run it back before you even get your first out. I think the first 3 innings that we've gotten through as of that point when he made that statement were long innings. I think now we're starting to get to the 3 up, 3 down portion of the game, if you will. That's
so who's on the pitcher mound and who's up to bat?
That super kick, I feel, was the 7th inning stretch. We are now plowing into the end of the game here in the next weeks, month, maybe even year. That was the turning point. That was the end of the second act. You know, that was the monumental Luke, I am your father. Oh shit, now where do we go from here? And we're going to begin that descent into the final climax of this story with that super kick. You know, whether we end up going to Money in the Bank and the Usos versus Solo and Roman, whether we go into Jimmy versus Roman, whether we go back to main event Jey Uso versus Roman. That super kick was the start of the third act. That was the start of the bottom of the 7th, coming out of the 7th inning stretch. We are on the home stretch now for this story. And there's 2 stories being told concurrently, because there's Cody's finishing the story to become champion, and there's the decline of the bloodline and the ultimate toppling of the head of the table. Just because Cody takes away the strap doesn't mean the seat has been taken away from Roman as head of the table. That's just the final bullet before his seat is usurped. Is it usurped by Solo? Is it usurped by Jey? Is it usurped by Jimmy? Does The Rock finally come back at WrestleMania 40 and say, you were never the head of the table at all, homie? Because you still got to get through me. TBD. But that super kick was the beginning of the final act.
You think
JJ?
Final act. Whew. Jeff, your rebuttal.
No, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a cosign. So, JJ, you've been following me for a while. No, I think you have as well, if I remember right.
2017 is when I discovered you.
Okay, so maybe not that far back. I apologize. Okay, so JJ, I have often talked about lamenting Team XMV missing WrestleMania 19.
Yes.
It was in Seattle. It was right there, right?
Yep. Y'all are supposed to go Act 3, Rock Austin.
That's right.
What did The Rock say in his promo with Coach? What did Hollywood teach him? Nobody remembers Act 1 or Act 2. It's all about Act 3. We are in Act 3 of the Bloodline storyline. Even at an almost 2-hour on YouTube highlight recap, we're still not done. We're just getting into the, oh shit, here comes the pivot point in the movie. It is on like Donkey Kong now. Here we go.
Yeah.
Jimmy laid that first super kick. We were on the air, all of us. In this room, we were on the air at that point. There was an audible gasp. My sister can vouch for it.
It was probably my daughter who was sitting here.
It was probably your daughter that was sitting with you there, but in Studio K, if you will, there was an audible gasp from the loft as well.
Yeah.
I called the shit gasp.
Then he hit the second one. It was like, oh my God, he's actually doing this. Like, holy shit, it's really happening.
It was intentional.
The fall of the Roman Empire has begun.
Yep.
It's just a matter of how many swords go into Caesar tonight.
It too, Uso.
And how very good. That was good shit. I like that. No, very, very good analogy, dude. Another short, or at least a hell of a video clip, James. Anyway, how many swords go in tonight, and how many more as he stumbles his way toward the O2 and toward New York City? That's the key. Like I said, it all starts tonight. As far as Sammy and Kevin being the beneficiaries, Sammy had the weekend of his damn life, if we're being honest, man. Sammy
For real.
finally got to do what he wanted to do for so long, which was so cool to watch that unfold. And we still haven't got dinged for it yet, so that's awesome.
And I say going forward, as long as they are champions, we have to refer to them the way that website did, the Wild Sammy Owens.
Yes.
I
Which
agree.
is why I say they should be on the show
such
tonight.
a great freaking play on the whole wordsmith there. Like,
How do you even come up with
Wild
that?
Sammy Owens.
Anyway,
Yes.
continue.
Yeah, it's we knew that it wasn't a matter of if the Anawahis were going to lose that match. It was how the finish was going to play out.
Ding.
It couldn't have been more dramatic. That was straight up movie shit, dramatic TV. Like, seriously, every single one of us in that room watching on that screen, JJ, you and I both know Teresa's not as invested as she once was in the product. Even she was, when she came in and heard the gasp, even she was like, oh, no, they did not. It's everybody in the world that has a peripheral view of wrestling.
Damn it.
Wants to see where this plays out.
Exactly. She had that reaction because she knew how her daughter was going to be coming home.
The fact that she came home early, yeah, I mean,
I was told the other day when she did one of her Instagram lives, she was listening to her Spotify wrestling playlist. The Usos came on and Alana was in the room. She skipped the Usos song.
She did
because of what Jimmy did to Roman. And Alana's like, why you do that? And she
yeah.
The mind of a 14-year-old who just saw her man's in dim get attacked by his blood.
When we were at Disney,
that's a mind space that you don't want to be in. No,
well, that girl messed up in the head. She's gonna go insane in the memory if you're not careful.
When we were at Disney Monday, JJ, we were walking through downtown Disney. We passed two different shirts from the Bloodline. One was, I forget what one of them was. Oh, no, it was a Felianusi one. And she kind of side-eyed it. But then the We the One shirt came, and I'm like, you going to throw it up? She goes, yeah, it's still a Bloodline shirt. I'm like, yeah, but it's you. So she goes, so we threw it up together. So she's still not fully turned against Jimmy and Jay yet. But,
might be.
I mean, Jeff, to be fair, We the Ones now in context. You heard what Roman Reigns said with that face palm to Jay. There is no one, it's no more. I'm the one. I would say the Ones right now is technically speaking, so is Roman Reigns. But if you look at Roman, who says, I will be the tag team champions, he truly is the one. Plain simple. There is no plural.
Think about it this way. Solo's been wearing his own shirt for weeks now. Roman's been wearing that ugly looking goat head shirt for weeks now. Not more than 1,000 days merch because we done told y'all so. Jimmy and Jay have been wearing the We the One shirts the entire time. Jimmy's always been in this mindset from the minute he came back in 2020. Jimmy's always had that in the back of his head, like, Naus. And Jay fell in line, and Jimmy felt like he had to, right?
Yes.
So I think Jimmy and Jay are gonna. I still say, and I said this a couple weeks ago, Solo if tonight's story is the keystone, Solo is that the axe pick. He's going to decide where this goes. Solo will decide which way the pendulum swings. Thank you for the visual. No, I appreciate you. Because wherever side Solo stands on will be the side that prevails.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the question then becomes, if he does stand by Roman and Roman falls, will this theory we've heard about Paul siding with the Fatus and having Solo be the Paul Heyman guy, leading to Roman's redemption? Just saying, a lot of threads. That there's going to be a butterfly zoo effect up in this SmackDown bitch tonight. It's going to be a thing.
Yep. I was just figuring butterfly effect, but then you also just made me think about the other element because, again, we talked about, yes, Roman Reigns is the star in the Bloodline saga if it was ever to go to DVD. But I would say it's been produced not by him. It was produced by one subtly, facially expressive Paul Heyman. Yep. You got to imagine with Paul Heyman having the deepest roots in this entire Bloodline saga before Roman Reigns even conceived. Yep. That Paul Heyman has to either dictate the end or execute the end himself, even inadvertently.
Yeah. The only branch of the tree that Paul didn't have any direct contact with in WWE was Yokozuna. Everybody else he either managed another company or was involved with in WWE, even The Rock. Not managing, but he was definitely involved with storylines. You figure the Alliance when The Rock returned.
Exactly.
And Brock at SummerSlam. So Paul's been involved with every facet of this family, WWE wise, whether it's in WWE or not, except for Yoko. So Paul is a very big factor in all of this. Jay, I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, it's okay. I was just listening to you guys talk about it. It made me think of a chessboard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, take this for what you will, considering there's no female in the bloodline. But Roman and Heyman are the king and queen.
Yes.
The Usos are the knights.
Yes.
But what piece sits next to the king and the queen? The
bishop.
The bishop.
That's Solo.
Who can move sideways.
That is Solo.
Oh yeah. He is the sentry guarding the gate, without a doubt.
And Roman Reigns is aware of it. Again, I look at all the promo highlights I can on UXN. I don't have Fox, folks. Sling basic package for those that don't know, don't have Fox. So it is what it is. Capitalism. But you see the subtleness in the expression Roman has when Solo thinks he's about to act on his own. Is it fear? Is it a sense of doubt in himself? And then we talk about Jimmy Uso here. Let's go back to the catalyst of this whole thing at this point. Jimmy Uso, the super kick heard around the world. Not once, but twice. Air sucked out of that dome and both your houses respectfully and my mouth for 2 seconds. Say that's what you will. It was Jimmy, though, that executed the super kick, not Jay. Sammy's been speaking more directly to Jay. At first, at the heart of this match, we thought the story going in, clearly, with Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. And Roman still has yet to say what he wants to say to Sammy's face. He only gave himself ticks of that during that freaking match where they amplified the mic loud enough so you can hear Roman Reigns because F everybody else. That's just the WWE product.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is Sami Zayn says, Roman, you can't have them. Inadvertently, okay, he has the title still. But was he also referring in a way to the Usos, who finally acted out on their own? Jimmy more so than Jay, because Jimmy even said, Jay, I'm doing what you should have done a long time ago. Was Jimmy the one silently listening this whole time? And Jay was just the guy being directly spoken to, though, instead, but was always on his mind. Was Sammy the one that really pushed this forward or started off? What did I say when we started the match, JJ? By the way, go check out our call, folks. I said that at this point, Solo Sikoa is the new right-hand man. He is the main event. He's Mr. Main Event. Who was in that spot before when this thing first began in 2020? Jay Uso. And that's because he swore his allegiance to save his own brother inside Hell in a Cell. Red Crate hit at the time, so hopefully that stays away.
That's your theory.
It's one of those things right now where I wonder how much oppression can one person take? How much abuse can a family member endure? It's nice to play side player, but when do you want to be the LeBron James per se? Okay? To put in sports references. I don't watch sports, but I know a little bit, folks, because I hear enough from these people and people at my church.
That's fair.
And Stat Boy, good luck with this opportunity with me. I don't know how far it's going to go, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Either way, I feel like since literally Jimmy Uso was at the mercy of Roman Reigns in that guillotine in Hell in a Cell 2020, he never forgot. It always dwelled in his mind. And as this bloodline saga continued to unfold, oh yeah, he enjoyed the glitz, the glamour, the peace, the money, the power.
Idols.
Yes, the title reign that they had. But ever since then, and even towards the end to WrestleMania, something in me felt like something in Jimmy changed, especially when Jay took his ball and left for whatever reason.
The Rumble,
Again, did he do that on behalf of was Sami Zayn right? Did he do that because maybe Jimmy and him? For all we know, have Jimmy and Jay spoke behind closed doors beyond even Paul Heyman's ears and been thinking about this for the longest time? We don't know how deep this truly goes. This isn't like some dark side of the ring yet to unfold. This is a bloodline saga internal. This is almost like Lion King 1.5, except this is going to be 100 times better if they actually give us the aftermath more than GTV did back in the Attitude Era. So, again, how deep does this go? Who truly kicked this thing off? And why we talk about Act 1, the beginning, Act 2, the run, Act 3, the end. Crazier than the Hobbit and the Harry Potter series and the Hunger Games. We don't know where this truly changed course, but we're going to see its next course in front of our eyes tonight. And whether that means you get the tag team match at Money in the Bank, or you get Jimmy Uso, first time ever, versus Roman Reigns one-on-one for the title or titles still in question. And whether Solo Sikoa plays the enforcer, plays the executor, plays the guy that makes the call in judgment. We don't know. Yes, we want to focus on the side of story for Cody Rhodes to finish, but right now somebody else might literally play the difference maker in that story. And we didn't even think this person was going to be that guy to be the game changer. JJ, I just see you just wondering why I'm just freaking metaphoring and thinking about this way too deep. Yes, folks, I actually watched WWE. Shocking, right? JJ, your thoughts towards maybe all that what I said when it comes to players in a chess game, parts in a movie, sequels, revenge, storytelling, happy ending, to be continued, etc. What's your thoughts towards all that?
I think you make some great points. First of all, let me give you kudos for pulling out a gem like Lion King 1.5.
Right?
As
That's
a reference, you know,
Yeah.
Mr. I don't talk Disney. I'm not going to take part in that singing. Nobody has the money.
Hey, this ain't about
and
singing.
you go pull a random gem like Lion King 1.5 out. First of all, kudos to you for that reference.
When I was once a wee lad, I did enjoy the Disney classics with my sister. And then I grabbed it. Anyway, continue.
When you were a young warthog?
When he was a young warthog.
Thank you,
Very
Jeff.
nice.
I think we got so caught up in the zaniness of Sammy's affiliation with the bloodline that we forgot the whole conspiracy portion of Sammy's gimmick from prior to all of that. Sammy has been planting the seeds from day one-ish. You go back, you think about his run in the bloodline. And while, yeah, Jimmy may have been the one to initially go off on Sammy once he turned and showed his true allegiance to the bloodline, within the bloodline, Jimmy and Sammy were always like this.
Mm-hmm.
Jay was the one that needed to be convinced.
Yep.
And once Jay was convinced, it was on like Donkey Kong. Then it was a matter of play your position and wait for the right moment.
Yep.
I think Jimmy has been waiting for this moment since Sammy joined the bloodline, if not even further.
Wow.
But you had to know your role. To take a quote from another bloodline member,
I'll say.
keep your eye. What did you tell Nick Madrid when he went to training academy? Eyes open, mouth shut.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Yep.
Jimmy and Jay just had to wait for the perfect opportunity.
Yep.
And then Solo came into the fold, and as you pointed out, the right-hand man kind of got pushed over. The
Yep.
Usos were the bishops, and then Solo came and they got bumped over to be the knights, the next piece down. And while they still had the belts, they were okay with that. They were still riding things.
Right.
When they lost the belts, you notice Roman didn't really make a big stink of them trying to get it back. They had an opportunity, but Roman kind of had this, well, it was your title, not mine.
Yeah.
I'm still the champion. You guys are
I'm
weak.
the champion.
You guys are weak.
I did my job. So help me out. What happened to you guys last night?
So they have been waiting for the opportune moment to strike.
Yep.
And this was it.
Yep.
Jimmy finally took the whole ending scene was very reminiscent of Roman treating Sammy when Sammy finally had enough.
Yep.
And pulled a Seth Rollins and took that chair to Roman's back, just like when the Shield broke up, which this week was the anniversary of.
Today, dude. Oh,
it's the circle of life.
You know, your daughter and I were talking about that this morning. I'm like, no, it can't be the same thing.
So this has been deep rooted, and you look at Paul's reactions. God damn it! Can we just give Paul Heyman a fucking Oscar already?
If I had
or
a
a fucking Emmy award for his performances and his facials.
If I had a dollar for every time you've said that only, I have enough to actually, if I was frugal enough, buy one of those Roman Reigns shirts.
Right. I mean, that's fair.
But his facial reactions almost make it seem like Paul has smelled this coming a mile away.
Yeah.
The Usos have now splintered off. And of course, we're going to find out here in a couple hours, West Coast time, the repercussions of the 1,000-day celebration.
This is a real pre-show, folks, for something that truly has mattered in WWE for the last 3 years, whether you like it or not.
The Usos have splintered off.
Yep.
So there are now only 3 people on the island of relevancy. Solo has always kind of been what his name echoed. He's always been a solo warrior.
Yep.
So once he's gone, that just leaves the way it all started. Paul and Roman. And when Paul senses that his meal ticket is dried up, what does he do?
Solo!
He jumps on to the next one.
Yep.
2002 was a great depiction of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lesnar, Show, Angle. Back to back to back.
Only manager to do that, besides Sonny.
I'm about to say.
And Sonny only did it in the tag ranks.
That's right.
Paul did it with World.
Yep.
This is going to be, we keep talking about it. Tonight is make or break.
Yep.
But regardless, as I alluded to at the beginning of this conversation, that super kick was the 7th inning stretch.
Yep.
We are on the home stretch now. Wherever it goes from here, buckle your seatbelts, baby. It's going to be a hell of a ride.
Yeah.
If you will.
This park visit went from Fantasyland to e-ticket in a hurry last weekend. So a couple things. First of all, we're talking about what Paul needs in the group chat. Paul needs a Grammy for his John Cena thing too. I just saw it happen.
If we're giving him a Grammy for that, can we get one to Edge and Christian too for their kazoos?
Yes. Lifetime Achievement Award Grammy for Edge and Christian. Yes.
Oh, God. That'll be the day someone plays
If you know what we're
the air.
talking about, go on the network. Use that $10 wisely, kids. Come on, for real. Anyway,
less tax, but capitalism. Anyway, continue.
That's fair. As far as this, JJ, I'm gonna pull a deep take. You talk about Noah pulling ranking 1.5 out of his ass, which was, by the way, tremendous, dude.
I think Jeff's stock just went up at the company since he's going to be out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, might as well.
Jeff knows somebody that references that movie and he doesn't watch our stuff religiously.
Yes, that's right.
You're
Give that man a raise.
Meacham.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm about to get Disney Plus and DVD sales for another movie bumped up because nobody references this shit anymore.
Here we go.
JJ, I reference this a lot in my personal life, and you know what I'm talking about here when I start the chorus. Noah, you put it best when it comes to Sammy and Roman having the Usos. You can't have them. You don't love them. All you've done up to now is break their heart. You will just use them and abuse them. Watch out, or Sammy will take Roman apart. Pete's Dragon, Helen Reddy. Look it up, kids.
All right.
One of my favorite songs in that movie, for reasons more now than back when I was a kid, and Jay knows that, but that's okay. Anyway, did I say Jay or Jade? Anyway,
either way, I feel like before Stephanie retired, when she said we're going to try and be bigger than Disney, this storyline alone, she actually might have been right.
Yeah, I mean, there was so many talks about Disney and WWE becoming one company. I'm like, yes, I will be up. Yeah. Anyway. This is
your eardrums, Mansfield.
Damn.
He
probably recorded on his phone.
As he should, because he's built the multiverse and we need the information. Anyway.
Which, by the way, he was asking for a Mansfield t-shirt. We need to make a Meltzer of the Multiverse shirt for him.
We'll include that with the one we talked about earlier. That's fine.
NorCal Numbskull.
Yeah, that's it. NorCal Numbskull. Displaced by the Meltzer of the Multiverse, Josh Mansfield.
Rated 5 shots of Fireball.
There we go.
Dude, just make my shit for me. I will take that now. You got it. All right.
T-shirt designing. I'm not that wise.
Hey, you know what? Taz did it. He didn't have a degree in it either. So there you go.
Fair point.
Fuck that up a little bit. Anyway, I digress. Go watch the old shows. You know what we're talking about there too.
Anyway,
all the deep takes tonight on the Simple Take. Here you go.
That's what happens here, apparently.
Look, I am Big G tonight. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be pre-gaming this episode of SmackDown because like I said, I usually work on Fridays. I'm not able to anticipate what's going to happen until I watch it on Hulu on Saturday mornings. So the fact that I get to watch this unfold like the rest of us West Coast kids, I'm here for it. And this story has been the most compelling thing that wrestling has put out there. Wrestling, not WWE, not AEW, wrestling has put out.
Damn it.
And I'll throw up the Too Sweet as a reference. That long since we've had I need to be there every week to see what the hell's going to happen.
By the way, that Too Sweet is the real NWO, not the fake ass Bullet Club.
Oh yeah, and like I said, however many months ago it was, when you have a topic that, as far as the Bloodline being a better presentation than the NWO, as far as how it's playing out, when you have Eric Bischoff, J.J. Williams, Aaron Rift, Virtue, and Dave Meltzer all agreeing on it, it must be a real thing.
There you go.
Okay? So, he and Eric and Conrad talk about Succession being the best thing on television right now. I'm not going to disagree with that. It's a damn good show. But as far as wrestling, this is the best thing going. It is the Horseman. It's the best thing going today. Love it or not. Woo!
And the money's there, too.
I don't have it here, so.
I mean, there you go. The money's there too. Ric Flair can't claim royalties for your woo. Imagine you got
Yeah.
paid for everybody that did a woo. The man would
That's
never
right.
go broke.
That's right. And I only Ric Flair drip. I got my bomb ass hat.
There you go. I like that hat.
There you go. I do too. Anyway, there it is. Night of Champions. Simple take that took 2.5 hours.
And with extended coverage and pre-show talk for the Bloodline in our own review, better than Rotten Tomatoes can give you, that is definitely graded fresh. And we will see soon enough what lies ahead for the entirety of the family that was all invited. And I'm very curious what that could consist of, including but not limited to what he literally referred to, Alpha and Sika, who gave him, of course, those additional beats. Let's keep that also in mind here, too. Roman Reigns is literally losing everything, it seems. What could be the greatest day of his life could be the worst family moment in his existence.
Yeah.
Rikishi has already put his thoughts out there. And somehow, some way, even if it's by satellite, if they get even 2 words from Dwayne The Rock Johnson regarding this, then shit's about to hit the fan.
Absolutely. You know, we didn't even go down that road as far as tonight. I figured we would get deep into that tomorrow on open mic night, but you're absolutely right. Roman dedicated that match to the Wild Samoans, to his father and his uncle.
Yep.
And they lost.
Yep.
Then after the beatdown of Jimmy, Rikishi goes on social media and says, enough. So how much acknowledgement is really going to go down tonight, and how much confrontation is going to go down tonight?
You thought WrestleMania 31, people were at risk with Roman Reigns losing to Brock Lesnar because of Seth Rollins' cash-in. This night might literally be a public safety hazard.
Rikishi does.
Sorry, Emmanuel, you can throw a prediction, but just please, if you have an East Coast feed, refrain from throwing a spoiler.
Again, hashtag spoiler free, people.
I know you're West Coast like me and Jeff, but you might have an East Coast feed.
Yeah.
As long as you don't throw a spoiler, by all means, throw down a prediction, brother.
Rikishi done ran a man down in cold blood for the money of it. What do you think that big ass Samoan's going to do when his family's at risk?
For real.
He really will do it for The Rock. This night.
For real. He took out Stone Cold Steve Austin just because.
Right.
Right?
You done laid your hands on his baby boy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Multiple times.
Roman's interference caused his baby boys to super kick his other baby boy by mistake and has led to this. Don't think Junior ain't gonna come in there going, all right, look, you big Liaki mucker father, you. And then you get Sika in there. Well, he dedicated the match to me, but who the hell are you to get in my boy's face? And then the whole bloodline implodes in the middle of the ring, and people are getting beat down. Then you got elderly abuse, and it's a whole police thing. It's a clusterfuck on SmackDown.
They're gonna need more than the cheap ass security that they have with all the independent talent tonight on SmackDown. Just saying,
They need the police.
A gun, the SWAT team, and tear gas.
That's
And
right.
not the Samoan SWAT team. They need the real SWAT.
That right? Bulletproof shields included, and nightsticks.
Sure, you know what? To be fair, the Samoan SWAT team, I'm pretty sure Sam is still alive, so they could have both members of the Samoan SWAT team there.
Oh Lord! Just add more fish to the fire. Why the heck not?
Whatever you do, don't have Haku in attendance.
No, then we're all dead. We're all doomed. We're all dead.
We all dead watching TV by proxy. Like he will tongue and death grip us all.
Michael Cole will not run fast enough away from this disaster waiting to happen.
We will have bad news from Wade Barrett.
You thought that the XPW ECW brawl was something? Oh no!
Oh no! Haku shows up on this show. I am running with my TV until it's safe to come out of my little hole I dig in literally in the floor of my living room. No, he's gone.
This would be about as big as the assault on Disney. The assault at Disney when freaking the real police showed up because the NWO was running havoc.
That's right. And that still didn't make our top 10 things that you must see at the Monday Night Wars. So there you go.
Oh my. Well, that being
Find
said,
out what those things are, you'll have to tune in on Monday.
We are live with Dad this week, baby.
hey, nice. Well, again, we've also been live here much longer than I thought, but it was incredible conversation and engagement. And Jeff, thank you for joining for Simple Take for the first time ever, especially
I
on
enjoyed
this
it, man.
milestone occasion. I definitely welcome you here anytime. But I mean, heck, you're the guy that owns the network. But is there any like plugs you want to promote? I know that you had like announcement, but I know also that changed due to circumstances. But
So,
if you want to plug a promote or any last thoughts you have?
so I'll be honest with you about the announcement supposed to go up yesterday. I had that ready in case Tony botched Wednesday. But he came through. Tony came through. He delivered the Second City Saint. He delivered. We're going to get him. And with that being said, I will say that tomorrow night, open mic night graphic here.
I got you.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Because this thing's slow. Because, again, folks, he's looking at the clock because
There it
will
is.
soon be clobbering time.
He is back. And yes, we're going to be talking about what happens on SmackDown. We're going to talk about the baby fever running rampant through wrestling.
Yeah, good grief.
We will also be talking about the man who hails from the city where Collision will debut, Chicago, Illinois. You can put me back up now if you want to.
All right.
And yes, I have changed hats.
Oh, wow.
The shirt that goes along with this hat will be on my back tomorrow night. And because this hat is from where are we at here? O'Callaghan's in Chicago, the return of the vaccine and Jeff Meacham's belly will be in effect.
There you go.
Oh, Lord.
You know what? I think I may have to wear one of my punk shirts tomorrow too. Just keep with the theme. I don't have a hat. I don't have the vaccine or nothing, but I will be sipping on a cinnamon roll tomorrow.
There you go. You know what?
James, if you're still in the chat room, wear your punk shirt tomorrow. Noah, do you have a punk shirt to wear?
There might be something hanging in
There you
closet
go.
over there.
There we go. So let's stick with the shtick. Hashtag like Walter Cruz. Hashtag stick to the shtick.
And the thing is, we know Noah won't drink on the air because he is straight edge, and we applaud that. We give that's fair too. But James and Josh and JJ and I can more than make up for it. No, it'll be okay.
Yes.
All right, fair enough.
Mikey, make sure you pour yourself one. Go to the liquor store, get you a couple of the single shots of Fireball. So, unless you've actually got a bottle at home, 2.5 shots of Fireball, fill the rest up with cream soda, stir, drink.
I like to point out as head of the network, I am not encouraging nor endorsing Mikey to drink, but
Mansfield, that is why you fail.
What happened? What you did?
He has no punch merch at all. Go to Hot Topic tomorrow. They probably got some still.
Seriously. Go buy something that says Chicago on it with a Chicago flag on it. Seriously.
Oh, Lord.
You ain't Cleveland. They ain't got nothing there worth buying anyway. You might as well just go get some Chicago.
Damn.
I've been up Cleveland sports ass all week. Don't mind me.
You're fine.
Oh yeah. By the way, since I've already been tipping into the alcohol, I'm gonna tell you something right now, Mansfield.
Here we go.
You in trouble tomorrow, motherfucker.
Oh snap! Let's not go too deep in that. Let's try to wrap up so we can get out of here.
Okay.
Make sure you guys actually get to enjoy not only SmackDown and full on the West Coast, but I know everybody anticipating on the East Coast here the acknowledgement that's to come and the insert Dragon Ball Z narrator here for suspension of disbelief and cliffhanger next time on the Bloodline. I'm not trying to intimidate that narrator. That's too
Meanwhile, back to Legion of Doom.
Me and Noah were anticipating going an hour to an hour and a half. Between the addition of Meacham, which I take responsibility for, I send him the link, and Mansfield diverting us, we've gone almost an entire hour longer than we wanted to. So,
what can he say except you're welcome? You're welcome. Okay, Josh and Super chatted too goddamn much. All can he say is that he's welcome. He's welcome. We're doing karaoke 3 months early, whatever it is. So there you go.
Non-copyright. The friggin' Moana reference. Non-copyright.
That's
for real.
Little Ella friggin' has that song stuck in her dead head. Damn it.
I would much rather do that for The Rock than anything from Doom, to be fair.
This is fair.
All right, fine.
I have a
can
walk
give you
call
that.
on that note. There you go. Okay.
Fair enough.
A walk call. Here's the rundown. Go watch SmackDown. There you go.
Yeah, that's really all there is to that. And of course, JJ, they can go watch your content up to SmackDown, even during the dull parts beforehand. And of course, follow you on the social medias.
Yes, you can find me at Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams, Twitter, ROWJJ Williams, Casa D18 Studios on YouTube, which some of you guys, I'm sure, are viewing this on right now. And we thank you and appreciate you for that.
Great, thank you.
Go back. You can check out my review of Crybaby that went live today.
Yes.
Tomorrow I'm going to be doing the Disney Plus original movie Crater,
which was good.
Starting on Monday. Just a whole lot more Johnny Depp content coming as we celebrate his 60th birthday
60 years.
here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Of course, Jeff mentioned open mic night tomorrow. Feel free to tune in and join the Saturday night shenanigans that are open mic night. We've got so much in store. You know, you saw the graphic that got thrown up there a moment ago. 1,000 Days, CM Punk, Baby Fever, and that's just scratching the surface. I'm sure we're going to get some super chats from people asking us about other topics. There's a lot of good. For the first time in a long time, there is a lot of good stuff, positive stuff.
Yes,
to discuss in the world of wrestling this week, without having to hinder on the negative. And whatever you do, don't hinder the gender.
No. You hinder gender. He put us through hell in 2017. You hinder the gender. That was one of the worst damn years of my life as a fan. I had to endure that damn championship celebration live. All right.
Okay, let me ask you this, Noah. Let me ask you this. Would you rather have Jeff Jarrett on your screens in 2023 or Jinder Mahal back as champion?
Copyright dang. No.
Damn it.
And he's broken. We can go. Good night, everybody.
I don't want to answer that. That's like, what's the bigger smelling, word less smelling, can't speak.
It's just like I say in the open mic night intro. The Eddie Kingston, Sammy Guevara thing, which is the better smelling?
Why would you even smell? All right, I'm not going there. All right.
Wow. Okay, we're going way to overtime.
And then the last thing I want to plug before Noah says whatever he needs to say and takes it out of here as he always does, since this is actually his show, his channel that we're crashing.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I knew I was going into.
Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for our next Simple Take, Double or Nothing, which will be me and Noah along with James Hebert.
Oh Lord, James.
For that one, I'm actually looking forward to coming back for that one because Double or Nothing this year was the first AEW pay-per-view that I was truly invested in.
Yes.
So I'm curious to see James's thoughts on it, engage with you with your thoughts of it, give my thoughts on it. You know, I don't know if we want to invite Meacham to come back because then we might go for 4 hours, you know.
I still haven't seen the Double or Nothing. I'm probably gonna have time tomorrow to get it in, because I want to watch your guys' commentary because I'm not overly fond of AEW's commentary team. So
that's fair. I mean, between Excalibur and Taz, I can totally understand your logic there. So, but yeah, so make sure
Excalibur's a Hall of Famer.
So make sure you guys come back for the Simple Take tomorrow. I am very much looking forward to it and engaging with you again, Noah.
Fair enough. Jeff, real question here. Quick question here. Minus the bloodline, who's more over? If you took the bloodline out of the equation, Roman Reigns or MJF, if there was no bloodline involved. I mean, you think about Roman Reigns before the bloodline was even an existing term.
So it's one of those you can't. There's no real way to gauge that, and I only say that because we don't know of a world of a dominant, head of the, top of the food chain, Roman Reigns, without his family. We haven't seen that reality exist. Mm-hmm. If you go off of before they formed as the bloodline, so like the first 2 or 3 months, and you compare what could have been to Max's reign now, I still say Roman would have had, and to be fair, both of them got dealt completely different hands. Roman got dealt the hand of a goddamn, he got a royal flush within 3 months. Max got fucking aces and eights. Like, he was dead on arrival because of.
I'm gonna go you one even worse than aces and hates dead man's hand. And Mikey, if he's still in the chat room, is gonna understand this reference. He got a deuce 7 offsuit.
He did. He really did, because he only became the world champion basically by default. Because he didn't get to beat Punk for it straight up like he was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a mess.
And with Brawlout, he didn't have the rematch and the feud that with Punk that had been built in.
Right.
For those of you in the chat that don't understand the reference, a 2-7 offsuit is literally the worst hand you can get in. Because you've got it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 cards is a straight.
Right.
Yeah.
That 7 means Jack Diddley shit.
Right.
And the fact they're offsuit means you can't even go for a flush of any kind.
Yeah, it is the worst.
Literally the worst hand you can get dealt in poker.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
How about Death Note?
No, and that's what Max got dealt by having Brawlout happen with Punk, and that's not his fault at all. And I will stand by that. But even so, if to answer that question, there's a lot of variables that would have to be included in it. It's a multi-layered answer, and it's me anyway. So I think if things stay equal the way they should have been, if you take the blowout out of the equation, I would say Max would have had the better hand dealt to him at the end of the day. But we'll never know.
I agree with that because of the way that Roman had already been force-fed down people's throats, and people were revolting away from him. Whereas Max, even though he was the heel, the devil himself, if you will,
we were ready.
People wanted him to be champion so bad.
Yeah.
And therein lies the difference. At the offset of the Roman angle, before the reveal of Paul, before Jey Uso, before Jimmy Uso, people were probably feeling, ugh, this shit again.
Remember, Jay,
people were chomping at the bit for.
Yeah, that first week when he came back between SummerSlam and Payback, even the freaking what the hell's the name of that damn thing? The fake studio. What the hell's the name of that? That's
Thunderdome. The Thunderdome.
Thunderdome. Jesus Christ! The Thunderdome even had piped in booze for him because they knew they weren't going to get Roman to get cheered.
No.
But then they put Paul by his side at the end of that week. It was like, oh shit. It took those 6 days to get us all back on track.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a bloodline storyline and Max's thing stays on course, we're talking a whole different wrestling world right now.
Yeah, because if Brawlout didn't happen, you got to figure the next Dynamite would have begun the push to Punk and Max.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah.
Which would have been less than a week.
Yep.
Which means that would have been on track quicker than Roman.
Yeah, because Punk got hurt in the altercation and then came out, at freaking oh no, that was different. I'm sorry. Different. Sorry. Never mind.
That is real good. But there you go, BCC. Again, if you could turn back time and that wasn't a thing, bloodline, it's not copyright.
Copyright.
Not copyright. Damn it, not copyright.
I have a song for everything. I am my father's son.
I love what Mansfield says there. The segment hasn't even started yet, which leads me to believe it's the main event segment. And he's already more excited for open mic night than he has been in a long time, probably since karaoke. That says everything you need to know about WWE's booking of this story.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank. And we hope again that y'all will join us tomorrow for open mic night.
Among other activities all across the Jet Network multiverse of media. And again, I hope everybody's enjoyed the conversation, the simple take, and the simple preview of sorts of what really could be the Bloodline's final act. Just starting. A new beginning. Just saying. Towards an ultimate ending. Just saying. But I digress. If people do want to know more about me, though, know this. For I am just a simple man and a lifelong fan of perfect professional wrestling, damn it! But I digress. Find me primarily on the Twitter and YouTube, and then Foster 1916 for all things wrestling. And shout out, of course, the entire AEW family across the Twitter. Again, we just did our recent AEW review. I'm sure we'll do another one once we get to Forbidden Door. We learn about the OM bracketology. We see how Collision kicks off, too, as we cover the premiere here on the Jim Premiere, as well as bring our next game night towards you fine folks, too. But go check out the AEW review. Go check out all the videos I've done, all the polls I've given you to give your voice, give your simple assessments on my simple YouTube channel. Just following Foster 1916. Thank you, James, again, for the great banner. People have been asking me about the 4 predictions leagues. Priorities for passions, people. I work all week, damn it. IT is not easy. It's already mentally tiring. But all 4 prediction leagues will be updated on my Twitter this weekend, I assure you. Impact, NXT, WWE, and AEW. As JJ alluded to, we'll be back here tomorrow with a simple take for AEW Double or Nothing. And what Jeff brought forward with Night of Champions, I'm sure James is going to try to match him and one-up him. There's a poker term for you. With AEW Double or Nothing, which I've heard many people deem bizarre, to say the least, mostly due to booking order and things that occurred, but I digress. But stay tuned for that simple take, of course, for Double or Nothing. Then we'll be back here tomorrow night for the shenanigans that are Open Mic Night. I put it up twice. Why not one more time? Because soon enough, folks, it's official. It will be clobbering time. And we will talk about that and so much more come tomorrow night on Open Mic Night. And apparently everybody's trying to start a family. God bless them, but more power to them. As far as my simple routine goes here in the YouTube world, I still, of course, will be doing more simple takes following this and simply predicting. And the next predicting, kicking off the summer of wrestling, will be Impact Wrestling Against All Odds. I can't afford to go. Hotels are too expensive. Damn it.
Man, bummer.
Yeah, I'm missing Killer K, Masha Slam.
I'm getting here for a call, but you know.
2 killers in lethal combat. No escape. Are you kidding? Sorry. Anyway, I'm getting too hot for that match. Anyway, Against All Odds will be the next predicting 1 week from today, 5:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as June continues to ensue, we got Forbidden Door, followed by Money in the Bank, Slammiversary, SummerSlam. Debates out there if I actually go to that live. As well as Impact, Multiverse United 2, Emergence, and of course, AEW All In. And of course, All Out and Victory Road will follow too. And I'm sure WWE will try and add something else in there. And it was primary Ring of Honor, tries to have something in there too. I might even do a simply predicting on the Great American Bash based on the card and timing. But also, because the Japanese Multiverse Media loves to keep you in tune with all things wrestling, shout out again to my HW family, stay tuned for publicity coverage after dark, as we are doing our second live watch-along event for New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is brilliant. The second biggest show of New Japan's year, Dominion. And we will be literally doing that immediately preceding Open Mic Night. So stay tuned for a live watch-along coverage for that, which includes Kyle Casno's WWE debut, the reveal of the G1 brackets, and me and Casey. Casey, I'm so glad you're doing okay, bro. We'll be doing, of course, our bracketology for that, and so much more certainly going to unfold, kicking off with Will Ospreay versus Lance Archer, with a winner as Kenny Omega waiting for them for IWGP United Heavyweight Championship, possibly at Forbidden Door. Although I do wonder, Kenny Omega's not in America, not in AEW, not in Canada. Where in the world is the cleaner? I'm just saying. But what do I know?
North Carolina.
Maybe.
I believe he's in the House of the Rising Sun.
There it is.
That was a good one. Oh, no.
I literally heard that song earlier today.
You're saying we're going straight from Old Mic Night into Dominion?
I feel like with the way we always do Open Mic Night, and when it usually ends after all the shenanigans, the shills, and just the post-match talk, probably the show starts at 3 a.m. You got a pre-show booked for 2 a.m., so maybe they'll overlap. I don't know.
No sleep till Monday. Cool. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
What do you sleep? Just saying.
Hey, we had that talk.
Josh, I've had the no DQ chat muted since 11 o'clock this morning for 24 hours.
Because we knew better.
Man.
On SmackDown. Yeah, we knew better.
Because we knew you would avoid posting it in the Open Mic Night chat because you're a good boy and you don't want Jeff to take your head off. But we knew you also would not avoid posting it in those chats. So yeah.
As he do. But we
love
what
Mansfield.
That's what as you deemed him so eloquently, the melts of the multiverse, does too. Again, what an incredible professional wrestling weekend of madness we just had most recently, and another one is certainly going to endure. So go check out all the Simple Predictings, all the watch-alongs, and again, stay tuned for the Simple Take of Double or Nothing. And that's just some of the stuff we've already done, and some of the stuff to come too. But as always, I'd like to conclude. There are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters. Just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, especially with what this month tries to bring out of people. Protect your mentality too, treasure your families, and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It's as simple as that. With that being said, thank you once again tuning in to a very extensive discussion and a simple take. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bell, those videos live on demand on either of these channels. Hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, support this man. He monetized, show him some love, super chat him, super sticker him. It's as simple as that. For the renegade JJ Williams, for Jeff Meacham, the guy whose name's on the marquee, the motherfucking owner of the multiverse of media, damn it, but I digress. I am proud and humbled to be his voice, and my name is Noah Foster. We thank you all so much once again for tuning in, as soon enough, everybody practically here and beyond will be acknowledging him. But until next time, as I always like to leave you, make a positive impact in life. And if not tonight, just make it a goal at some point. Just have a freaking good night. Jeff, been a pleasure. JJ, always a pleasure. Stay tuned for the unfolding of the Bloodline right here on Friday Night SmackDown.